Yo, people, one more minute. Come on. Get excited. Here we go. Check it out. Come on. Oh, you might be able to see some peeps pop their heads through. Watch out, people. Watch them out. Oh, yo, people, what's up? Yo, it's the Lito bunch. Let me make sure my mic is on. Yo, is this thing on? Oh, I probably just blew out your eardrums there. Yeah, I think that thing's on. I think we're on. All right, yo, people, how you doing? It's like getting crowded up in here with all y'all in the chat. Let's go back to the chat and welcome some people in the house. Let's make sure that my whoa, we got another nomadic gaijin coming in. We got like 2 nomadic gaijins. What's going on? It's all good. We're going to a little bit of duplicity in the guest room here. I feel like we got a clone. Never had this happen before, but it's gonna be all good. But we're gonna have to kick one of this nomadic gaijin out because otherwise Will can't come in. That was interesting. That was very interesting. Yo, let's go back to chat. A warm welcome to y'all. Holy, we got giants in the room. We got Japanese Emmy channel. If you guys haven't checked her out, go check her out. She's gonna get the air horns of welcome. Hello, Emmy. Konbanwa, nice to see you. How you doing? And thank you for joining us here at the Lito Bunch tonight. Nice to see you. Who else we got here? We got Anthony Locke, A-Lock in the house. Yo, Anthony Locke, how are y'all? We're all doing good. Anthony, I know you're asking, when am I going to be on the Lito Bunch again? Well, you have been on the Lito Bunch before, and you will be on the Lito Bunch again. Don't worry, my man. We will get you on. It's all good. Wow. We got, like, Nomadic Gaijin and friends. We got his partner in crime, Niheria. Hello. Nice to you and your little fuzzies and Fuwa-Fuwa-chan. Make sure to say hi to Fuwa-Fuwa-chan for me. I miss her. Who else we got? We got Ravisha in the house. Give the horns of welcome. Who else we got? We got Dream Whale. Hoping that one of the people in line were gonna fall down and drag themselves and hurt their knees. I think I saw JJ commenting earlier on that saying, yeah, that actually happened to him in high school or something. Man, I hope you're over that knee injury you got there. We got Ravisha in the house. We got Garfield Mack in the house. He's like, I need a tequila pop now. Man, that sounds pretty good right about now, but I gotta have my wits about me. We got Johnny Singh in the house. He's like, hey, you got Nomadic Gaijin. Hey, Niheria. And everybody's like, hey, digital fanboy. How you doing? Wow, we got all the peeps coming, all from different channels. I absolutely love this. I think something's starting to work here, guys. I think all this like shouting out people from different channels, from different like universes, like Twitch land and YouTube land. It's like starting to come together. Okay. Can't forget my man. He's up there. He's in the big orange. This is DX in the house. This is the kind of shoot where they go, oh, hey, look, we're also multicultural. We auto-lock arms and walk in formation. Yeah, let's do, hey, we're the monkeys kind of thing. Whatchamacallit? Dream Whale had a good comment. He's like, what's his comment down? He's like, oh, no, not the one that hopes they fall over. Dream Whale said, I'm so impressed you went and filmed all of these for your intro. Yeah, I just had to run out, an hour ago to like a place that had perfect lighting and like a multicultural band. And unfortunately, in Japan, you'd think there'd be more Asians, but it was only like one black person and a whole bunch of other non-black people and no Asians. So it wasn't the ideal thing. No, I'm just joking, guys. Where did I get this new intro? If you guys haven't heard, there's this website called Canva. and it's for people who need design stuff but can't do design stuff. So you pay like you can get a free account. A lot of people use it for thumbnails, but I have a pro account. I pay roughly $10 US a month at the current rate, and there's a lot of like B-roll clips basically, and I can just type in video under the category video, and I put in what did I put in? Multicultural. And yeah, those were some of the clips that I pulled up. I put in Japan. I put in Japan, and actually came up with Tokyo, Osaka, and the first clip. Who knows where that first clip was from? If you're watching right from the beginning, let me know if you can tell me which Japanese city that first clip was from. You get 1,000. You get Ichiman plus 1,000 points. So that's Ichiman sen points. You get 11,000 points if you know where that is. That includes anyone in the as a guest as well. Okay, guys, but seriously, it's so great to see all you here. We got Sheila. Oh, Sheila, nice to see you here. Pew 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 for you. It's so exciting to have y'all guys here, and if I miss anyone, we can't miss my girl, Star Jen. Welcome to the Lito Bunch. Some of you have seen me on live streams, but maybe this is your first time on the Lito Bunch. I mean, watching the Lito Bunch. So what this is kind of like a video podcast where we talk about current events, we talk about Japanese things, but right now we're talking about the complexities of a modern society and multiculturalism, basically. And this all got started with that kind of live stream I did interviewing William at Found in Japan there, and someone had a question like, hey William, how about your children? Do you have children? And his children are multicultural, they're living in Japan, and there was a whole discussion on that, and I felt we just touched the tip of the iceberg. And I hope that everyone comes here with an open heart and open mind and discusses everyone's unique situation. Some of you guys are in Japan, some of you are not. Everybody's got a different story, but I think everyone can contribute and relate in some way to this discussion. And I wanted to welcome my guests here tonight. So without further ado, I will get to the chat in a while if I'm missing anybody here. I hope I got most of the people in the chat. It's great to see you all. Did I get Digital Fanboy? Just in case I missed you. There you are. But hey, we're going to get to you in a sec. I see Buddha of Destiny Namaste. Got a shout out. Buddha of Destiny Namaste. Hello. Nice video. Nice to see you here. Yeah. Buddha, I'll be happy to help you. If you guys want any help with the technical stuff of these intros and outros, canva.com. Go check it out. There's a lot of stuff you can do with the free account. But if you have any other questions, go ahead and get a hold of me on socials and stuff. Lito, do some tapioca. My nostrils are big enough for me to actually snort some big tapioca. Probably get a few right down the chute pipe there. But anyways, so let me welcome you to my panel of guests. Let's get them on the party screen. Here we go. Okay, we got three. I think we got one more in the house. Hold on, he came a little late, so I'm going to assign him as guest 3. And bam, there he is. Wow, look at who we got here. Yo, people, how you doing?
Hey.
Morning.
All right, we got
Hey guys, I was
Awesome. Let me make your text a little bit larger than life so people can actually read where you're at. So let's start with Nomadic Gaijin. I'm gonna have you guys help me out. I need to drink some water. Can you guys do a wee bit of an intro? Where are you coming from? What's your ethnic background, and how do you know me? That kind of thing. Yeah.
I don't know you.
Okay, let's start with you, Luke. How about you? Nomadic Gaijin, the bottom left of my screen.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm from America, but my ethnic background, it's kind of hard to say because I don't really know. But, I mean, basically, my mom's a mix of British Indian, so I'm about a quarter Indian, as far as I understand, and quarter, I guess, English, British, and then half Scottish because my dad is full Scottish.
Wow, you got quite the mix there. I didn't know all of that. I heard about the quarter Indian bit, but I didn't know the other mix. Okay, cool. And so you're actually where are you? I know you're in Japan, but where are you right now at this moment?
I'm in Yokohama at Minato Mirai.
Nice. Sounds good. And thank you for joining us on a remote location. And how long have you been in Japan?
14 years.
Nice, nice, a long
Wow.
time. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool, cool, cool. Awesome, awesome. And Nomadic Gaijin, how did we meet? And kind of currently, what are you doing right now in Japan?
We met we met at one of the events that was hosted by John Dobb. It was in Osaka, and I don't know who told me about you. I think was it Ario or Lemmy or someone had mentioned I should talk to you. I think it was Lemmy actually, or maybe both. And then I just messaged you to see what was up, and you seemed really friendly and nice. And then I was really happy to have someone there that I knew, because at the last event I went to, it was I didn't know anyone. I knew one person, but they were in the event, so it was a little bit lonely, when you don't have someone there that you know.
Yeah.
I think that made the event really great, and I appreciated that.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I'm so glad that you reached out to our like mutual friends.
Yeah.
And oh yeah, yeah. I was just gonna say it's like super exciting because like we talked beforehand, but I'm like, oh, I'm gonna meet this guy, and I've heard everybody's telling me good things about him. And when we met, it was just like, oh, awesome. It's like we really got along, and we had a good event, and I think we live streamed actually right after the event, right? We walked around Osaka and did a few things.
Yeah, I actually we did piano and guitar, we did
Yeah.
darts, we did all sorts of things. That was a long day.
It was a fun day. It was a fun day. Very memorable.
Yeah, it was fun.
So, guys, all of the content creators who are on the panel tonight, you can see all of their links for their YouTube or Twitch and Instagram in the description below. But if anyone's who's a mod, I think a lot of mods here tonight, which is awesome. If you can drop down Nomadic Gaijin's YouTube and Twitch links, if you guys have them, that would be great, so people can check him out. He's doing some great things over in both of those areas there. Awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, awesome. Great intro, Nomadic Gaijin. All right, aka Ano Luke. That's Chica's nickname for you there. I like to jump crossways over the pond, I guess, from Japan to a different set of islands in the UK. We got Jerome chiming in from Scotland. You guys might know him as just Jeroaming around. I often call him as JJ.
Yeah.
JJ, how are you doing? And can you give us a bit of an intro on you?
I'm doing good. Hi, my name is Jerome. As Luke did his, how do you call it? Your background. My background's a bit like yours. It's a bit of a pot noodle, as we call it in Scotland. So my mother was Scottish. Her mother was Irish Scottish. My grandfather was Scottish German. So my dad's African American. So I'm just a mess. That's what I am. I have no real home, guys. I have no real home. So yeah, that's why I'm called Jeroaming, because I just roam around all the time, from place to place. If anybody remembers that TV show called The Littlest Hobo,
Oh, I
with the
love
dog,
that.
like,
I love
Yeah,
that.
that's
I
me.
love
Man.
that.
I'm the littlest
Sure, I've seen
hobo.
it.
So it might have been a UK Canadian thing, because a lot of Americans I talk to, Littlest Hobo, and they're like, Littlest what? We have Dave Chappelle
It
as
was
the
a
Littlest
song,
Hobo
man.
doing his sketch, but
Not
so it,
family friendly.
yeah, what was the dog? It was like a German Shepherd looking kind of dog or something.
German Shepherd, yeah,
he
they
would,
just
like-
appeared in people's lives.
Yeah, and he would like kind of be like the cooler version of Lassie. Like he would like go down trains and help random people in different cities, and I wanted to
See,
meet that
Littlest
dog.
Hobo, that's me.
That's you.
Man. You're going to meet it in real life. You'll meet it this year, dude. I'll appear in Japan at some point.
Oh man, we got to do an intro video with that song and like stowaway or jumping off of trains or
With the
something.
dog.
Yeah,
Dog
with the
ears.
dog ears. Yeah, that'd be great. Okay, so Nomadic Gaijin doesn't know. Maybe it wasn't aired in America or something. Littlest Hobo, check it out. I'm sure there's
Kind of a shut-in, so yeah.
All right. But yeah, that's JJ.
Well,
how are you guys doing?
Yeah, so how I met you is through Lemmy on a live stream. She just introduced us, and we just kind of kicked off, from there. Same with like Luke as well. So yeah, I'm enjoying it, guys. I'm really enjoying it. I'm enjoying your journey. I'm enjoying watching you. I don't see so much of you, Luke, because I don't have Twitch. My friend's on Twitch playing Xbox, but even then I don't watch him so much, and he's always complaining. So
Right. Okay. No worries then. But yeah, we got to attribute that to Lemmy. I think I knew like Lemmy first of all. I messaged her on Messenger about like how to get your word out, how to get exposure on YouTube, and then she told me, oh, get into like Facebook groups that are about your topic, and then we started chatting, and then she recommended me to talk to Tokyo Paul 360, and I think around that time is when Nomadic Gaijin came in like to my DMs and stuff, and he's like, hey dude, I'm going over there, and I wasn't sure if it was through Lemmy or Tokyo Paul 360, but that's kind of the start of this whole kind of Kansai, Kanto, Tokyo, Osaka network that we've started to, and yeah, we have people from all different channels watching tonight, so that's wonderful. So thank you guys for your backgrounds and our little origin stories there. Now we have a new face in the bottom right corner. In the bottom right corner, wearing black and black headphones with tints of silver. We got Michael.
Oh, thank you.
Michael, aka Taicho Mikey.
Yes.
Right.
Hi. Good morning.
AKA like MS or Michael from Surrey, Not Sorry. You got so many. You've got like a Game of Thrones kind of like introduction about you. Michael, who are you, and what's your background, and how do we know each other?
Okay. I'm Mike, aka Mikey. A lot of people locally, and as they've gotten to know me, just call me Mikey. Taicho Mikey, the one that's listed there, is actually my Instagram. I don't have a YouTube channel. I guess you could say I'm a creative consumer rather than or content consumer rather than a content creator. So like I watch a lot of your guys' channels. I'm ethnically both sides Filipino, born in Canada, grew up in Canada. I've been to the Philippines a lot, been to Japan quite a bit. Actually, my Japanese journey is similar to yours, Lito.
Mm-hmm.
We met, oh wow, back in the 90s.
Back in
We
the day.
actually, yeah, like back like 25 years ago.
Oh,
We used to work together.
You.
Yeah.
yeah. People know
And
how old we are now. Damn. It's all good. It's all good.
and you and I happened to be studying Japanese, but in sort of like different paths. And
Mm-hmm.
you ended up in Japan. I'm still here, but I've gone back to Japan. So
Right, right. And you've been to Japan like a handful of times, I would say, right? Since those
yeah,
times.
I would say 6, 7 times.
Right, right. So
Yeah.
Michael does know Japan quite well, and like we can talk about certain things. And I think maybe your Japanese might be rusty, but I think you've been trying to keep it up over the years somehow.
It's tough. It's tough, especially here because I think versus when I started learning Japanese, there were a lot more Japanese people to practice with.
Hmm.
And I don't know what it is, if it's just the economy or if it's sort of the culture. It's not as many Japanese people I'm finding. There's
Hmm.
still a lot of international travelers, but they're not here for the long haul like they would have been before. So,
Hmm.
I
yeah,
see. Okay. Well, it's
still a lot
interesting.
of Japanese restaurants.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah.
They're usually not Japanese run though.
Yeah, maybe like 2%.
That is true as well. That is true. So, yeah, maybe we can talk about that really quickly. Like, I remember the last time I went back to Canada, before coronavirus, must have been like maybe 4 years ago, at least, right? 4 or 5. Um, the landscape has changed a bit, and I feel like Japanese culture has entrenched itself, as at least culinarily, right? When you talk about ramen shops and izakaya. So the word izakaya is a standard like word that people know in Vancouver now. Like they'll just use it as like sushi or tsunami. So I'm just like, whoa, whoa. It's like, so where are you gonna go tonight? Oh, I'm gonna go to what's it?
Goo.
Otokemae gu izakaya or something. I'm like, how did you know that word? Who taught you that? I'm like, we just know it. I'm like, whoa. So Vancouver in particular has this weird kind of integration with Japanese culture, especially the culinary sense, I would say.
How do they pronounce it though?
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
Like izakaya?
Yeah, they say it like that?
I think so. Michael, how would you say it?
No, I'm
I
just
say
curious because so many
izakaya.
things. Oh, okay.
Uh, I mean, when it comes to ramen, I would say more people would say ramen instead
Ramen.
of
Yeah,
ramen.
it's pretty
Yeah.
close.
So
But izakaya, they would say kind of like that. Izakaya.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Like there's actually,
That's pretty
ironically,
straightforward.
considering the topic that we have today, there's one. I think it's still around. It's called Hapa Izakaya.
Happa. Yeah, on Robson. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
And,
So
and that's an interesting point because like I was like, what does happa mean? Because like at first, first hearing, I would think it's leaf, but when I talked to locals or even talked to the staff there, they were like, happa is a Hawaiian word that means half Japanese, half non-Japanese. So I was like, and it's kind of run by half or like local Japanese people there who have lived in Japan many generations. It seems. Is that true, or is that
yeah,
just the impression I got?
I actually I've only eaten at Hapa once. I tend to eat at Goo more.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and especially the
Good.
the
Goo.
original goo. Yeah, so I mean they're kind of pricey though. They're more like niche things that you would go and hang out with your friends and for a party or something versus say what I would imagine in Japan where you go there after work.
Okay, sounds good. Well, thank you
Yeah.
for kind of being nostalgic and bringing me a bit of a taste of home, even though it's kind of Japan from home. But and it's great to see that even though you're a content consumer, you messaged
Yes.
me specifically about today's topic and saying, "Hey man, if you're gonna talk about this, I want to be on the Lito bunch." I was like, "Oh, I'm all for that, man." So if you're gonna come out and step up, I'm like, let's do that. So guys, thank you for adjusting our time schedule a little bit to accommodate for everybody here, because like. Hopefully Will can come later. He's a bit busy with family stuff, but if he can lurk and drop in later, that'd be so cool too. I think there's a lot we can discuss. But I'm gonna drop a little bit of trivia, a question for everybody, and then I'm gonna go to the chat, and then we're gonna get started. Okay? So the question is, everybody knows sushi, right? Hopefully most people have tried sushi. I think maybe Anthony Locke hasn't tried sushi yet, but you should try sushi. Where does California roll come from? Where is it actually from? Okay, and if you know it, Michael, don't let him know. But yeah, where is California from? You can either type it in the chat or guess. You can tell me after we get through a bit of the chat. Okay, so the first question I posed was, where was that first clip from? DX is like, Kyoto, right? That was Kyoto Tower. And Dream Whale's like, Kyoto Tower? And anyone else? DX say that was the first tower I saw stepping out of Kyoto Eki. You guys are correct. Correct. You get 11,000 N points. Well, not N. You get 11,000 points each. You guys are tied for first place. Speaking of Canva, Nomadic Gaijin was saying, yeah, I've used it for a few years. And then JJ and my friend Popelier, who's in the chat, are both vehemently against it. Did I pronounce it right? Vehemently against it. And Velvet Head is like, JJ, I'm with you. Go original or go home. You designer people, you people can make things from nothing. I envy you guys. For all of us,
Me too.
For the
Me
rest
too.
of us, we have Canva, so forgive us. But actually, right now we do have some awesome people in the design field. We got JJ helping out the YouTube community with some of our art and doing a great job at it. We got Gallery Papelier trying to spread the word of his own original art and original artists here in Japan, as well as hopefully in the future Australia. Guys, go check him out when you're in the Shinsai Bashi area in Osaka. Got some really interesting pieces there. And I'm gonna go later this month and do a video at his studio and maybe help him out to make some short clips for social media. So yeah, Papelia, good to see you, man. How you doing? We got Tokyo Paul in the house. He's like, hey man. I'm like, hey man, yeah, we are live. That's right. And nice live. I saw you on the rickshaw today going down through Tokyo. Sorry. And that was cool. You're all dressed up for the occasion. We got Dej in the house, if I'm pronouncing it right. Dej, nice to see you. Boom, boom, boom. And who else is in here at the moment that I might have missed? Did I miss anybody? I think we got everybody here. All right. Dream Whale has a really good question for us before we get back to that. He's like, which Ninja Turtle is each of you? That's a good question. Guys?
Wow.
Raphael.
You're
'cause
Raphael.
I've got
I'm
got a lot of
absolutely
aggression.
Michelangelo.
Michelangelo. What are your
Absolutely.
what are your weapons again? So Raphael was what? This was he the Sai? No, he was
Size.
Sai.
Yeah.
Michelangelo was
Yeah.
Nunchucks.
nunchuck because he was orange. Mikey, what are you?
Uh, I was gonna say Michelangelo because he likes to eat.
He's like pizza, dude. That makes me
Yeah.
Donatello with the bow staff, right? Michelangelo is the one with the sword, right? He's got the katana.
The nunchucks.
No, Leonardo.
Oh, Leonardo's got the one with the sword, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
Leonardo with the katanas.
Oh, okay. All right. So we got two Michelangelos in the house, I guess, if I got that right.
Wayne.
It's all good. It's all good. We got Clymair saying, hello, good afternoon, Lito. Hello, Clymair. Now, Clymair's channel is one of those that really supports the YouTuber content creator community. Should check her out. Me and Tokyo Paul have been on that. Jerome, have you been on Clymair's channel yet?
No, but I would like to go on. I would like to go on Clymer and Paul Vlogs channel.
There you go. There you go. Nomadic Gaijin, you might want to check them out too. They're really interested in help.
Yeah, I'm adding right now.
Yeah, help them spread the word of the content creator community. So thank you for being here. Who else have we got here? Yes, it's Clymer saying, this is a wonderful, the Lito Bunch, awesome men in the panel. Yes, we're men. We're men in the panel. If anyone in the on the live panel here wants to react to someone's comments, it will help me out a lot because then I can only scroll so far. If there's something you want to bring up, let me know and I'll try to pull it up. Okay. So yeah, guys, let's get to this. So actually, Michael, I wanted you to start off because we talked about William's kind of position in Japan, and he talked a little bit about his children being half. Or he liked to use the word double, right? Because I think he explained that they're not just like half of each, they're like both. So they're kind of like double cultural. Or I use the word bicultural. But Michael, you were really interested in this topic. What is something that kind of really resonated with you and something you want to share with us today or talk about?
Well, I mean, when I heard you and Will talking, it really hit home for me because I'm married, 2 kids. Both of my kids are just like Will's, bicultural. I mean, on my side, they're full Filipino. On my wife's side, she's like a mix of different European backgrounds. German, Dutch, possibly English, and she hasn't gone to explore as far deep as that, but that's what she understands that she is. So I know that being in a place like Metro Vancouver, we have a lot of different ethnicities, a lot of different backgrounds that are living here. But if I were to take my kids to another country, for example, the Philippines, it's like majority Filipino. So in some of the challenges, especially that Will discussed, it makes me kind of think, well, here it won't be as much of an issue, but maybe going abroad, people either stare or they might, ask questions, and like my kids might ask me, oh, why did they ask me that? Or but I want them to be able to be exposed to other cultures, even though they kind of see it here, to sort of get the flip side of what it's like to travel and be in something that I feel they will learn from, especially where, here it's such a melting pot. Like when you go abroad, especially to a homogenous society, you want to adapt.
Yeah, you make some good points there. It is quite like a culture shock coming from a country maybe like Canada, one that's more, like you said, a melting pot, multicultural, even America. Jerome, I wonder how it is in Scotland. Like, is it as multicultural as you would say in North America or less?
It's very multicultural here. I mean, like I said before in my videos, is people don't really class you by how you look. They will see that you're mixed, but as soon as you open your mouth and you're speaking Scottish, then automatically you're Scottish. But they don't sit there and go, where's that guy from? That's not the first instinct in their head. If you come in an American accent, you'll have like a whole bar, like, where are you from? You're like, oh, I'm from here. Oh, and then it's like all the people like, oh, I've been there. I like, and they start telling you stories and buying you drinks. But I don't feel when I was growing up as a kid, it was different. You know, it was very. I grew through racism. I grew through the change, the growth of Scotland. You know, people welcoming and stuff. At the beginning, they weren't so welcoming. You know, you were very alienated. You were always attacked racially and stuff like that. But they get taught. That's what it's all about. Racism's taught. You know, it's something that you're taught. It's not something you're inherently got. It's something that your parents teach you. But eventually, parents will start to school their kids on, like, you know, he's Scottish. You know, he's just a person just like you. So kids start thinking like that. But it's not as bad as it used to be. No, it's not.
Okay, cool. That's good to know. That's good to know. Luke, do you have anything to add to this part of the conversation?
Yeah, I mean, well, I grew up in San Diego, which is a very, very mixed cultural place, and I found just from people I've talked to that the coasts, like the East and West coasts, are very mixed. There's a lot of different cultures. For San Diego, it's because there's the Navy base, and bases, like people from all over the world have come to this one spot. So it was pretty normal in high school and growing up that you'd have like people of every race in your class. So it just seemed so normal. But I had friends from other places in the States where they were the only Asian kid in the entire school or something like that. And hearing stories, it was really tough for them growing up. So I guess it just depends where. For the States, it's very big, right? So where you're coming from.
Yeah, that's an interesting
I
point.
can relate. I can relate to that. I can relate to the school thing. You know, growing up in my school, in primary school, going into like primary school, there was only four kids like me, four mixed kids in the whole, even in the whole town. So when people were generally racist or like a target in you, like I said in the past, they would target you by name. It's like when it's a bigger country, it's a general thing. But when you're growing up in a small town, it's like Jerome, and then they give you the racial tolerance of abuse. So they say your name first, and then they give you racial abuse. So it's very direct. So you can't really hide from it. They know they're talking about you.
Interesting. I think there are so many facets to this conversation. I'm gonna add kind of my own experience. Yeah, growing up in Vancouver, like I think similar to Nomadic Gaijin, my elementary school class was like a rainbow. Like seriously, it was so mixed. If I look back on it now, I would say, strangely enough, okay, I think there's a little bit of growing up somewhere that's multicultural, growing up somewhere that's maybe more homogenous, but then having an image of other countries of what cultural mix they should have. So like, for example, a lot of Japanese people who haven't gone abroad as much think that in Canada, all people are white. So when I say I'm from Canada, and they're like, what do you mean you're from Canada? You don't look like you're from Canada. I'm like, well, then I have to explain, well, I was born in the Philippines, but I'm raised in Canada. It's an immigrant country. And they're like, oh, okay, so you immigrated to Canada. I'm like, well, yeah, but I'm Canadian. Like, really? There's still a bit of like working through, and I hate to say it, like, no matter where you're from, you might have this with other countries too, no matter how multicultural I am. Jerome, I'm just going to say it. When I first saw you, I was like, oh, you're Scottish? Like, do you just have like more, were you more in the sun than other people? Like, you're just a really good tan or something, like. I
get it all the time, man.
And I shouldn't be thinking that way. I should not be thinking that way. But like, I've never met anyone from, my image of Scotland is just like, it's like, hey, the accent, the whole thing. And I'm just like, you're not my typical, what do you call it? Stereotype of image of Scotland.
Yeah, your beard should be red, man.
It should be red.
Yeah, red. Pickles, pale skin, looking like Willie from The Simpsons. Eye or die.
That's right. So I mean, but then after like the first 5 minutes of talking to you, it's just like, okay, he's from Scotland. Like obviously he's from Scotland, but I had to get over that, So it was like, I'm not immune to it.
Every time everyone does the same thing. It's like I usually get, are you from Turkey? That's the first thing. Are you from Turkey? No. Are you from India? No. Pakistan? No. Are you Muslim? No. It's all these questions. That's the first thing they think of. And I say I'm Scottish. They're like you said, but they do the whole thing first of all.
Yeah. I get that too.
You don't look Scottish.
Right.
I'm from right by Mexico, and so.
Yeah,
a whole lot of people just assume I'm actually kind of pale right now, but in San Diego, I'm in the sun all the time. I'm much darker, and
Yeah.
people have come up to me and started speaking Spanish. I'm like, I'm sorry, I really don't know. I'm not trying to be a jerk. Just don't know.
It's funny you mention about being asked where you're from, Lito, because I've had exactly the same experience as you. You know, you get like a Japanese person in Japan asking where you're from. They're like, no, where are you from? And then you have, no, really, where are you from? And this is all in Japanese, and then I have to tell them in my slow Japanese, but hopefully deliberate, that, I'm born in Canada, but my parents are from the Philippines. And, and then they're like, oh, okay, wakarimashita. And I'm like, okay, well, yeah. And then it's like not a issue from there. And, but it's kind of interesting coming from like living in Metro Vancouver, because there's so many other cultures here. They're like, oh, well, where are you from? And it's like, oh, you look maybe Filipino or something like that. But ironically, when I've gone to places like Slovakia, or I'm trying to think, like places I'd never think I'd ever go to, like Lithuania, I say I'm from Canada, and they're like, oh, okay, cool. That's it.
Exactly.
That's it. Nice.
I like that.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I'm going to chime in with the chat for a little bit, because I think a lot of people are really responding to this. So Anthony's saying, I'm Native American and people think I'm Italian. Yeah, I can totally see that, being misread for sure. Clymer had a great comment. She's like, okay, so, being a multicultural kid, or being grown up multicultural, do you not have such a good experience of being multicultural? And I'm like, well, let me kind of address that from my own point of view. Maybe everyone has a different experience. So I think like Luke, like growing up when you're young, like I would say until junior high school or high school, it's fine. You're just like, you're not taught to see people for their face value. You're taught to just play and be around people, and they're just your friends. But for some reason, for me and maybe a lot of other people, in high school, something switches. And in Western high school, and in my high school, suddenly like the Indian people would stay with the Indian people, and the Chinese would stay with and I was like, what's going on? Like, why are we suddenly like going back to colors? And to tell you the truth, being kind of a minority, like a Filipino is Asian, but like the two main populations in Vancouver itself are East Indian. We say East Indian. I know in the UK you say Indian or Asian. You say Asian, right? So there's a little bit of a different word usage there, okay? So when I say East Indian, I mean people from India. And in the UK, when people say Asian, it's like Asian and people from India. I'm not sure what that denotes. But then the other population is like Asian, as in like either from Hong Kong or mainland China, mainly Hong Kong, right? So those are the two main populations that I felt in my communities. And I was kind of like not really accepted because I couldn't speak Chinese, right? I wasn't from Hong Kong or China, and I obviously I wasn't Indian, so I was like kind of in this weird melting pot of the others. I was mixed with the others who didn't fit in. So like my band was like other Filipinos, white people, the rare black person, maybe the Japanese person. I was in the motley crew of the high school. And that was
That's
fine.
a Scottish band, actually. They're Scottish.
That's right. I wouldn't doubt it. But like, I was fine there. That's where I wanted to be. Like, I didn't want to be in the racial cliques anymore, because like I never grew up that way. But it's weird that Jerome, you say, oh, it's not weird, but it's like either people learned it or they wanted to get in those cliques to have some sort of, what do you call it, identify with a group, right? To be part of something.
I was going to say that when I was growing up, it was more like you were excluded from everything. You were more like always targeted. It's difficult when you're growing in a small town like that, because my mum had to teach me everything. So it was basically like, if I run around with a group of people, it's like, Jerome, you can't hang around with groups of people. And I think my mum's picking on me, like, Mum, but I want to. And they're like, yeah, but if they get in trouble, they're going to know you. You're the only person that's going to stand out of that whole group of white kids, just you. So it was always that case. She always kind of put me in my place and make me understand. But in high school, that's when everything changed. I would say at the beginning, it was very much like everybody just kind of, we don't care who you are. But then at 14, 15, it was like everybody wants to know who's Jerome. Who's Jerome? Oh, let's go chill with Jerome. Then you become cool all of a sudden. Everybody wants to have that one mixed kid as a friend, that they can show off to their friends. Hey, this is my friend. There's always got to be one in the group.
Right. Interesting.
I had a very different experience in San Diego, actually. I think high school was more about hobbies. So they'd have the surfer group, the skater group, the chess club, those kind of things. And it really didn't really matter anything about race. But I think that's because San Diego really is a very mixed city. And in California, actually, white people are a minority compared to if you add up all the other races, something like that. I don't know. I read something about it years ago, but there's like a smaller percentage of completely white people compared to every other different race or culture. So it's pretty normal, I feel, going through any age group in San Diego is fine. But then I'd have friends from other places in California tell me a completely different story. So it's really interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting. Mikey, how about you? What do you have for us?
Actually, it something that Clymera asked, the comment that she had said, it's sort of the opposite for me, where in elementary school, I went to public and actually Catholic school, and then when I went to high school, it was all Catholic school. So the diversity was a lot smaller once I got to high school. So it was pretty much either Filipinos, like ethnically, it was Filipinos, Italians, Irish, and like basically people from the UK, and some Portuguese. There was your token Asian people like that were not Filipino. So I'm the opposite of you, where like I actually didn't really want to hang out with the other Filipinos, and it was mainly because of some of the sort of, how would I say, the politics and sort of just the games that were being played. So once I left high school, once I graduated high school, I ended up falling into a group of really mixed like friends, like from different ethnic backgrounds, and most of them actually I'm still friends with to this day. And thankfully, it's actually because of working at GM Place, or I guess now Rogers Arena, and they're from all over the place: Fiji, Philippines, anywhere in Europe, and it's great. But it's interesting to that point because it's like being here. You know, if you're Filipino, Filipinos will know sort of that you're Filipino.
Yeah.
Now, so I think, like to your point, you are definitely correct that there's a lot of Indo-Canadians, people that identify, of being from Indian descent, and also being from either mainland China or Hong Kong. But I think in terms of the top five, it's arguable to say that probably people from the Philippines are pretty much ranking up there now in terms of numbers.
Hmm.
And but it's funny when I've gone abroad, places like Mexico, they think speaking Spanish to me. Japan, like they think, or you have Japanese. It's like you go somewhere else. It's like, are you such as? I'm like, you might get the one person, I swear, like in about seven, that will be like, oh, you look Filipino. I'm like, how did you think that? And it's like, oh, I've been to Cebu. I've been to Boracay. I'm like, oh, great, thank you.
Right. Okay, excellent,
Yeah.
excellent. I think we can. I love how you're opening up with the like. Oh, I traveled to this country, and then people thought it was.
Sorry.
I think we can all kind of maybe share some funny stories like that. I want to go to the chat before we dive deeper into that. Okay, so there's some interesting comments here. So Ravisha or something was saying, Nomadic Gaijin, you look like John Cena, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
You look like John Cena.
That's a first. That's a first for me.
He's like an actor slash pro wrestler. Or
You can't see me. That's what he's gonna say.
He's a really popular guy.
Take off your bandana and throw it across the room.
Okay.
Yeah.
It'll crash the stream. I can't do that.
Right. Oh, that was a good John Cena, by the way. And the Climair is like, Anthony, you look more Italian, and then Lito looks Mexican. Hey, me. Hey, man. Hey, everybody. Um, so I thought that was an interesting kind of segue into like kind of the stories we could talk about. Yeah, it's funny because like, okay, I'm gonna tell you my first year in Japan. Okay, all right. So I'm fresh off the plane. I finally got my first job working at an English school, and I'm one of the few Asian teachers there. Right at that time, this is like back in 1993, 94, and I'm waiting for my student who's late, and the student walks in, looks through the little like window in the door, and then like does a second like a second take and like looks at someone else, and he didn't go in the room with me, right? And another white teacher, sorry to say it, another white teacher got out of his room who was also waiting for a student. He's like, no, 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 sensei, that's your sensei, that's the teacher. And so like he thought I was a student. He thought I was, he's Asian, he must not be my teacher. But over the years that has changed a lot, right? However, I will say I've been living in Osaka. Maybe it's different in Tokyo. I feel Tokyo is more metropolitan. Like people are a bit more worldly in the fact that a lot of people speak more English. Like Japanese locals speak English and they've been around the world a bit more. But in Osaka, it's still kind of like, hey, you speak English? Like, wow, cool. There's a novelty to it. But the funniest thing was I was walking to the subway after work with a Japanese staff member, and we were, the Japanese staff there are basically bilingual. They can speak Japanese and English fluently. And I was speaking with her, and the businessman walking in front of us heard English, would do a 360, like, no, 180, and then look right past me. And he's looking for the English speaker, right? He's like, where's the English speaker? And then we'd stop, and then,
nice.
and then we would like keep walking. And like, oh, no, by the way, and he's like, woof. He did it like twice, and I've had these kind of stories in Japan where it's like, wow, your English is so good. I'm like, yeah. I kind of joke about it. Yeah, I've been studying at Berlitz, my English school, for 25 years. I just joke, about that stuff now. And I know people don't mean anything by it because they assume. They assume that maybe you're not fluent or native or whatever. But I just that's my experience. So Luke, you've been in Japan a long time. Have you had anything like that at all?
I'm instantly outed as American the minute I open my mouth or just the way I dress.
Right.
Everyone just assumes. Actually, they assume American for a lot of people, I think. And so if they see anyone that's foreign at all, they're like, are you American? And for me, it's true. But for a lot of people, it's quite irritating because, it's like, well, it's not the only Western country out there,
Right.
Exactly. But I have a lot of friends who came here and, they're of Asian descent. Like one of my buddies, he's half Chinese, half Filipino. And we traveled together. And he would get the Japanese pamphlet, and they'd give me the English one, the menu, and we would just swap because I could read and he couldn't read, and there's a lot of that assumption. So, and I've had those friends tell me they really struggle because people will just start speaking Japanese to them and assume that they'll be 100% fluent, and they get kind of frustrated when they're not met with the fluency. Whereas with me, if they speak Japanese and I don't do it well, they're like, oh, it's fine. You're a Gaijin. It's fine. But we're from the same place and grew up the same city. It's really not fair, but that's just kind of how it is.
I've had something so similar where my American friend, who's like very Caucasian, has been here way longer than I. We go to a restaurant and same thing, right? They speak to me in Japanese, and then he's replying fluently in Japanese to the staff, but they keep speaking to me. They don't look at him. It's like so weird, so awkward. It's like, come on.
Does that happen with your wife too? Because a lot of times they'll keep talking to her even though I'm speaking.
I think something similar. It doesn't happen anymore. I think I've learned to like.
Your level is much higher, I think.
Yeah, I think it's a lot. At this point, people understand. I still speak, and people will say, "Okay, he's obviously not Japanese, but his Japanese is good, so we'll keep talking to him in Japanese." But when I go to Tokyo and I speak Japanese, I'll be at the convenience store like, no, hi, sono mama de, or like whatever, like I don't need, whatever, 1,000 yen. It'll be like 500 yen is your change, sir. They speak to me in English. I'm just like, I just spoke.
They do that a lot. Yeah, they do that a lot.
But why do they do that? Because they want to practice their English, or just.
I think they kind of want to show off a little bit.
Yeah. I felt that.
I get it almost every day. Someone just says "thank you" or
Yeah.
Here's your change.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
just try to throw something in, you know, not the whole conversation, just one or two little words or phrases, and they get so excited about it. And so, you know, I pay it back to them, just like, oh, your English is really good, you know, just that's awesome.
Yeah, exactly. Guys, we're just gonna say a quick nighty night to Tokyo Paul. Team Tokyo Paul 360. Have a good
Nice,
night.
have a good one.
Or as
Good
we
night,
say,
Paul.
Oyasumi, thanks for dropping by, man. I know you had a long day of streaming, so good job, and otsukare oyasumi. Can we ask Clymer something? Oh, sorry, can we bring up Clymer's comment? She said, Lito to Japan, has it ever one time in your life being culturally special work at your advantage or benefit? Oh, that's a good question. So,
I mean, the Gaijin card.
yeah. So there's this kind of term they say for Asian foreigners in Japan. We are stealth Gaijin, or we can go into stealth mode. So if I'm on a train and I don't look up or I don't say anything, people just automatically clump me with the majority, right? So I'm Japanese. Has that come in handy? Yeah, it comes in handy because, like, unfortunately, and this is one of the ugly things, so people in Japan stare. They just stare at people who stand out. And I've had so many of my...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah.
They're, Luke, my Caucasian friends will be just like, don't stare at me anymore. I can't take... And it's they're not doing anything physical, but, like, I guess day after day, it can tire you, you know, and get so, like, come on, like, already. When people stare at me, I stare back, though. Like, I don't give a shit. I'm like, what are you staring at? Like, I'll stare back. And they'll usually, like, break out of it. But I don't know. Nomadic Gaijin?
I'm actually glad for
Lito,
the years
there's
of staring at me.
a thing for that. There's a thing for that I used to do. See, when people stare at you, I always used to look at them and go, me? Like, I'll point at them and go, me? Look at me? Me? And then it makes them confused because they realize that you're actually paying attention to what they're doing, so it makes them uncomfortable. Right. But you may be like, me? You looking at me? Him? Me? So you make them feel uncomfortable because then they stop and they start looking around at the ground and stuff. So
I'll
use
try
that next time. Just
I'll try that
yourself.
next time. Yeah.
I just waved to them.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
This is good.
It's fun.
Wear a picture. It lasts longer.
Yeah.
I get
some
I
guy
have
was
a,
recording me
a different response.
the other day, secretly.
Really?
Just like this. He was walking around me like this. It was very obvious, but he was trying to be secret about it. And I was just like, "Hey, I don't know why you're recording me, but thanks for giving me some attention, I guess, and you know, whatever this video is for." And then he kind of hid behind a cement, one of those utility poles, and he kind of creeped out like this. It was the weirdest thing. I mean, I was live streaming, so maybe it was. I don't know. Maybe
he's getting some B-roll for his blog, you know.
I don't know. The guy looked like a Japanese Doc Brown, dude. Like this crazy like, long hair, and but it was funny. Whatever, it worked. It was, you know, it happens. I just wave and I just say hey, and it usually breaks the tension. And sometimes I end up talking with people, and most times though they just kind of freak out and stop looking.
Oh my gosh. That's creepy but funny at the same time. Michael, were you gonna add something to that?
Oh yeah, I was. Ironically, my wife gets that rather than me. I mean, I'll give one example. Actually, she's had a lot. You know, for example, we'd be walking in a mall in the Philippines, and you know, it'll be her and I, and she'll get the immediate attention first, like in terms of like, hello ma'am, can I help you, and then they won't even like look at me. So then, you know, I remember we were going to buy like toothbrushes for our 3-month-old or 8-month-old kid at the time, and I was like, she decided to go stay back, and I was like, okay, I'll go to the mall and I'll go look for the toothbrushes. And going there by myself, no one came up to me. Like absolutely no one. And you know, I told her about it after, and you know, we kind of laughed about it, and it was kind of unfortunate, but you know, and also it's I can see your point though, like when we've gone to places like say Korea or Japan, you know, and like her and I, we went on our honeymoon to there, and usually people would look at her, you know, they would be, sometimes, you know, it was good, and sometimes, you know, we she got a little bit uncomfortable from the stairs. You get a lot from the kids, but the kids, they're so happy to see you.
Right,
And they
right.
just, yeah, they're just all smiling and they giggle, and you just
Mm.
can't help but be nice.
I think that will be the biggest challenge for me. I mean, I've lived in Europe, especially in places like Estonia, next to Russia, Lithuania, Latvia. I always had the impression it would be difficult to live in such places being mixed and obviously not white. But I never really had that many issues with the locals and the people of Eastern Europe. But I feel that when I get to Asia, I think that that's going to be a wake up call for me. It's going to be, yeah, it's going to be a tough one, to be honest. It's going to test my reserves and my resolve to deal with like certain things, because I don't think people will be so forthright, and maybe they'll be very blatantly obvious. So I'm kind of worried about that. What do you think, Leo? Is it true? Should I worry?
I think this is a good topic. I
I don't
think,
think so.
well, I think in Japan in particular, there are good things and bad things of being a foreigner here, right? So like one, you stand out. Sometimes like we talk, you get the stares, but sometimes it is to your advantage if we can like go back to Clymer's comment, right? Like if you're at like a party or something, like you said, Jerome, in high school, like, and you're like the only one from Scotland, you're gonna definitely stand out, and if people are friendly and curious, they're gonna come and approach you, you know. Um, also, let's talk about. Okay, I wonder if Nomadic Gaijin has encountered this charisma man. Have you heard of that before? Charisma man?
No.
No. Okay,
What's
I
so
know.
that?
JJ's joking. So there was this English publication, like a free newsletter that would come out in most of the bars in Kansai area. I'm thinking there's something in Tokyo too, back in the day, back in around before the 2000s, and there was usually like a little like comic called Charisma Man, and it was like basically the blonde hair, blue eyed guy from America who's like skinny, not very attractive there, comes to Japan and suddenly boom, 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 like he's like super attractive. All the girls, oh my god, it's like Brad Pitt, like oh my
Brad
god, like
Pitt.
oh yeah, I want to date him, you know. So there's this idea that you come to Japan is like bam, like hello everybody, and so you might get that as status. And I had this conversation with someone recently, and now Charisma Man's not even limited to the blonde hair, blue eyed. It can be anyone now. It can be any multi ethnic race. So it's like charisma foreigner man. You know, it's like so that could happen too. I mean, it works
Uh,
both ways. Yeah.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
I can
it's
totally.
I
happened a
never.
lot to me here. Honestly, oh,
Okay.
sorry.
No, please go ahead. Go ahead,
Okay.
Luke.
No, so well before I did YouTube, whenever I would, the cities I live in typically don't have many foreigners. So they're still big cities, but they're just not as many. There's a lot of Chinese people or like other Asian people, but there's very few Western foreigners. So when I go to a restaurant, generally the owners and the waiters will remember me if I go a second time. It's because I speak Japanese as well, so it's like they can ask me questions and we talk a little bit. And when I come back, they give me free food sometimes, and they're very nice. And so I sometimes feel like a celebrity, just the treatment that I get
Nice.
at all these places. And then now that I do YouTube, it's actually kind of up that level because I'll have the shoulder cam or I'll be filming something and they ask questions and so it's like foreigner and YouTuber. So now, I feel like I've gotten a lot of great treatment and become regular at places after just one, 2 or 3 times because I stand out, I guess. And so it's been pretty cool.
Nice. Well, thanks for sharing your positive experience. Michael, your mic was
Positive
about to
experience,
open.
yeah.
Oh, I can totally relate to that charisma man, even being like I'm not a blonde white guy. I just remember, I think it was thanks to some friends I met from London and Leeds. One of the guys, he was like telling me, come up to Leeds, come up to Leeds. And so I went up to Leeds a couple of months after I met him. And I swear, every place we went to, he was like, "Oh, hey, you wanna like talk to my friend? He's from Canada." And I was like, "How am I gonna? How?" It was just felt kind of like I don't know. What am I supposed to do here? And but I mean, I've seen it, and like when you, especially if you stay in places like hostels and stuff like that, you go to different countries. It's interesting because a lot of the travelers that I'll meet when I'm going to, especially Asia, tend to be like non-Asian people.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Mm.
sometimes they go there for, whether it be, for example, Japan, snowboarding, whether it be anime, whether it be
Mm-hmm.
whatever it is. And then some are just, you kind of wonder, it's like back in the day when we would have been studying, like in the beginning, it's like you going there because, you probably couldn't get any action back home.
Oh, interesting.
And yeah, sorry, I know that
Damn.
sounds really cold, but
No, it's
but
brutal, but still.
it when I had to actually just Google that charisma man right now because I
Mm-hmm.
didn't even know there was such a thing.
Yeah. Yep. That's called.
And um and it kind of makes sense because it's there it I guess like even though there's 1%, there's still like a sizable amount of people that sort of do that, and it goes the same way as well for women too.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but
exactly. I mean, you got to remember the women are desperate as well to get what they need, to find somebody that's good for them. Like my brother said, I told you that joke. Remember, Lito, my brother always says to me all the time. He's always bullying me all the time, and he always says to me, "Jerome, I've got something in abundance you don't have." And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, "What's that?" He says, "Charisma." Charisma. He said, "I've got charisma."
Right. Right.
And he said, you have to be. He said, when you lose your looks, you have to rely on your charisma, and you don't have any. That's what he told me
Oh,
all the time. So.
he's brutal. He's brutal.
My abusive brother. Yeah, it's like that. So.
Right. Right.
Oh,
Well,
charisma, man.
yeah. Who knows? Like I said, when you go to Japan, you might automatically just get all that charisma, right? Um,
I'm charismatic anyway. I don't care. So.
right. Right. Let me put everybody back in the chat here. There's something weird that went on there. But yeah. Like I will say this. Japan. I think there's a little bit of exoticism wherever you go, and it's like a more of a homogenous society, right? Right now, I think the majority of Japan is still Japanese. However, the foreign
Mm,
population is increasing over the years, and it seems like they describe Japan as like an upside down triangle when it comes to the population, right? There's a lot of old people and less
yeah.
younger people. And I know it sounds ridiculous, and I've told my wife this, and I've told people like, Japanese people could go extinct at one point in the future if there's not enough of the birth rate. So
Yeah.
the face of Japan is changing, and I'm hopeful that it changes, like it becomes more integrated. Like I said, my experience has mainly been in Osaka. So when you go to Osaka, yes, there are foreigners, but when I go to Tokyo, I feel like it's again more like some place like New York. Like it's not so
Mm-mm.
strange to see foreigners walking around here and there. Where in Osaka, it's still not an everyday event, I would say. So it's weird in that sense, right? And the people are a bit more like international minded. Maybe they're all from different parts of the country and different parts of the world in Tokyo. But what I have seen is a lot more like I know Will just left. And by the way, thanks for Will for dropping by. I put in his
Yeah.
comments. He had to leave early and work on stuff. But the mixed race society, like people are integrating more, so we're having more children of mixed ethnicities, whether you call them half or double or whatever. Um, there's this school that I used to teach near, and every day after school, I would see a black student in full on Japanese school uniform, and then a white student walking kind of side by side to the station, and then surrounded by Japanese people. So I'm like, okay, are they international students? Are they like are they like born and raised here now? Like, are they integrated in the society? So I'm just thinking,
Who's staring now, huh?
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly,
exactly.
and it's
He's got a
just
whole clique around him.
so yeah. I
A
think
whole
we're
group.
we're all kind of like guilty in a way of like kind of looking at what we think is the other, but sometimes when you think you're being stared at, it's because you're staring at them. So like I don't know.
Yeah.
It's worked in my.
But I've got one.
Go
I've
ahead.
got one thing I got to say, Leo. Is Japan truly a harmonious place? Because I see a lot of people say that it's very harmonious, but they're very miserable. It's a bit like that sweeping your problems under the rug kind of thing. But eventually, people are going to notice there's dirt under the rug because it's going to be a mound at one point. So people will see. I don't see it as much as everyone's trying to sell this image, but I don't see that image. I don't. I have the experience for myself, but I don't see what the media feeds me, what everybody tries to feed me. I see a totally different thing. I'm trying to put the pieces together myself, and I don't see this harmonious thing as everybody shows it. I see people who are afraid to just kind of be themselves, to be honest. That's what I see, in my opinion.
That's
Only.
a really good observation, and I think no matter what we tell you, I think you will discover more when you actually come here. We can try to explain it to you.
Exactly.
There have been other like really good YouTube videos about it. I think Shogo Asks or something, or Ask Shogo. He did a really
I like
good,
I watch Shogo a
Yeah.
lot, actually. He's good.
he did a really good piece on like why are Japanese so cold-hearted, and I think
Oh, yeah.
parts of that video talk about the what do you call it, like the society that needs to what's the word I'm looking for, like they all have to think the same and be the same in order to fit in.
It's a hive mind, collective mind.
Kind of, yeah, that's
would
it, the
say.
collective, or like the one that sticks out gets hammered down kind of thing, and it's rooted in probably like history and geographical locations. Like all these people on a small island, like if for survival, the people who stand out or like weird basically are gonna like put everyone in like danger, right? So like I don't know, there's lots of rules, and there's lots of like rules that people have to abide by, and sometimes it doesn't make sense, but it's just rules. So that, I think that adds a lot of pressure to people. I don't know, I'm not Japanese, so I can't really say from that point of view, just from what I've observed. But Luke, do you have something
I think-
there?
Well, I mean, yeah, just from my understanding, Japan is very much based on the society, not the individual. So it's the same feeling for family, for work. You're supposed to stuff down your feelings. You're supposed to do the greater good for the company, for the family, for everything. And sometimes Shoko will tell me stories of work, and I'm like, why don't you just say no? And she's like, well, nobody does that.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, no, go talk to HR. Like that's not a good thing to do.
Yeah.
That's not how you should be treated. She's like, well, but like that nobody does that kind of thing, and it's just not heard of. So then, I understand what JJ is talking about. There is a lot of unhappiness because people do stuff it down, but they do it for that greater good kind of thing. So what I see from Japanese people is three things: they work hard and they're miserable, but then they play hard, and there's a lot of great, wonderful activities, and they really get into them. That's why what you see on YouTube, what you see from us streaming a lot, is all these awesome activities. That's really to offset the awful activities that they have to go through, and and then the other thing is alcohol. Alcohol is what helps them finally be able to say what they really think, really feel, and it's kind of an excuse.
Like courage.
Like everyone,
Courage,
yeah. Well, not only that, but
breaks
what people
down
say
walls
when they're drunk. It's like
Yeah.
they're okay. Like you can tell your boss they're terrible, but it's just you're drunk. It's fine. Like it's written off.
Social lubricant.
Yeah.
Social
lubricant.
lubricant.
It's a good
There
way.
we go.
Yeah.
So those are my observations, anyways, from my time here.
Michael, it seemed like you were wanting to add to this conversation here.
Oh, it was coming back to when, especially the whole theme of family, because a lot of it, and I don't know if you might be able to relate to this, Lito, but especially growing up, a lot of the lessons I learned from my parents were, about taking care of your family, sort of, I guess, being the good child and being a representation of your family, like whatever actions that you do would be reflective upon like how your parents raised you, and if you turn out to be a bad kid, it would be like putting shame on your family. And and I guess I see that as a contrast to, say, for example, my wife, who is not Asian at all. She's full bred white girl, and in her environment, she was encouraged to speak her mind, and obviously respectfully, but at the same time she was given a lot more leeway in terms of that. So it's interesting when I took her to the Philippines and also to other places in Asia to sort of tell her, it's like, well, and she understood it like that, there's certain sort of cultural norms that are different from Canada.
Yeah, definitely.
No, I agree with you. Michael. I agree with you a lot. That's very much like me. I was brought up the same way. Speak your mind. The whole concept about being focusing more on the collective than the individual is not a good concept, because we are individual human beings. We all have our own skills, we have our own abilities, we have our own mindset, we have our own thoughts. And for someone to kind of, or people tell you to suppress your thoughts, it's very mechanical. And I think that it doesn't bring the best out in you, because it makes you feel restrained. You feel locked in. You can't be yourself. You can't express what you truly want to say. And I think that I don't think I could live. If I had kids, I would encourage them to speak the truth. I would never ever allow them to just accept and be told how they must be all the time. They have to be able to freely speak and show their emotion. It's just the way I was raised, so I guess that I would want to teach my kid the same.
Yeah, Jerome, I think you do hit on a really good point that's very different from most societies that we're used to seeing, like, in the Western world. Japan is, in very much ways, starting to globalize, but it's in other ways, it's still very deep rooted in tradition and its history. And it's really hard to change that. I mean, I know you're coming from
Oh
a
no, I'm
place.
not here to change. I'm not here to
Right.
change anybody, Lito. I'm here to. I just have to. When you go to a place, it's like you have to respect the house that you visit. That's the first thing you have to do. But they also, it's two sides to that coin. They also have to respect the person for the individual that they are. You can't expect someone to come to your nation and accept your standards because that's your standards, because in their country it's not their standards. So if a Japanese person was to go to Scotland, they can't act Japanese in Scotland. They would have to understand that it's not acceptable in Scotland to be that way. So there'd have to be a kind of balance there in the scales. So I'm not telling anybody that you don't accept them. I'm just saying that you have to be wary that these kind of things that you do may be frowned upon, vice versa from my side as well.
Yeah.
I have to kind of dial it down, put a lid on it, maybe lock it down a little bit. But yeah, it's pretty much that. That's what I'm trying to say.
No, I hear what you're saying now. I think you're not the only person, like, actually who would feel that in Japan, and not just foreigners. I've met a few Japanese people who just they can't be in Japan. Like, I knew this.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, this girl, Kayo. I met her in Vancouver, and she's like born and raised in Japan, but she immigrated when she was in high school, and she's like, I had enough, and she is now full on Canadian. And she warned me. I think the wisest words she said, she's like, Lito, I know you're going to Japan. I know you love Japan and you have this image of Japan. You want to go there, but sorry, but I'm gonna break something to you real hard. The one is, no matter how much you learn the culture and learn the language, you're never gonna be Japanese. And that's what she told me. So it's like, don't even try.
Yep.
And I was just like, oh, interesting. Because, like, what if I did try? What if I did try to, like, they use the word naturalize and really integrate into the society? And, getting there, I see her point. And I know there are a few people who have actually integrated completely. They've actually naturalized. They've changed their name. There's this Swedish guy on NHK News. He's like this gardener, but he looks like a model / bodybuilder. He's like blue eyes and blonde hair. And his name is like, Sakamoto Ryoto or something. That's like crazy, like Japanese guy. He's probably assimilated, but he said, like, in the eyes of Japanese, you'll never be Japanese, so don't even try. And that was wise words for me, and that's what helped me kind of keep my Westernness, but also integrate in society to a point where I can respect and get along. But yeah, there's some people.
I was thinking about that actually. Leo, I was thinking about what you're just saying right now about you'll never truly be Japanese because it's all down to like the culture and the way that you look. But I think that that's a very, very slippery slope, to be honest. I mean, it's like saying to me, my friend. I mean, I'll put the link in my video or on you in the chat from my friend who made a documentary, Black and Scottish, and he made it solely for his 8-year-old daughter to teach her about Scotland and the roots and how it was growing up being black. And he had all these people doing interviews and stuff. Essentially, you're Scottish just because you're born there. It doesn't matter about anything else. You could have two mixed parents. It doesn't matter. You're still Scottish. And if you go to school there and immerse yourself in the culture and you live there and you speak the language, you're Scottish. That's it. There is no other place you could be. There is no other person you can be. You're Scottish. And I think in Japan, if you are born in Japan, your parents are both white, but you speak Japanese, you go to Japanese school, you understand Japanese culture, you're technically Japanese. There is no other description for you, to be honest. That's just my way on it. But it might not be in their eyes, but that's how I see it. If someone could be talking Japanese and white, I would think
that's
that.
a very interesting thing, and I know people who are like that. Their parents are both American and they're white and they're born and raised in Japan. Do they identify as American or Japanese? I don't know. I really don't. But they speak Japanese and English fluently. They were homeschooled though, so that's the interesting point too, right? So it's like, they live in Nara, actually near me. Yeah, they're very creative people though. So
I have a really
great.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Yeah, Mike. No, these are great topics to discuss, I think.
Well, that's one of the biggest aspects of like growing up in Metro Vancouver and also now having kids that I hope that my children won't really have to go through, because growing up in Metro Vancouver, you know, just based on the color of my skin and maybe because of the time frame and generation that, you know, when my parents came to Canada, there is a lot, I would say a lot more prejudice. And, you know, it was basically, oh, you know, you sound, you know, I can talk to somebody on the phone and they would say, you sound Canadian. But if they were to meet me in person, they're like, you don't really look Canadian.
Yeah, right.
And, but, you know, when I go to the Philippines and I go and hang out with my cousins, they're like, oh, you're Canadian. And,
Right.
you know, it's only recently that I actually decided to get dual citizenship. And I even got it for my older son, and I want to get it for my younger. And they're not even they're going to look half. And, you know, I want to raise them and I want to say, you know what? Just like Will in Japan, or Found in Japan, had said, it's like being bicultural, being able to appreciate both, because thankfully, you know, our world is getting more global, and I can't imagine sort of that cultural identity challenge within a person to have to figure out. It's like, you know, when someone says, "Oh, you're not Canadian, you're Filipino," and that's in the Philippines, and here it's like, "Oh, you're not." You know, or vice versa. You're not Filipino, you're Canadian. And it's like, well, what does that mean? It's like I grew up with Filipino cultural traditions at home, but as my dad would say, you go into like a white world. And, you know, based on some of the experiences that they had growing up, it sort of shaped some of it, but I've also tried to break some of those barriers. And thankfully, our world is getting much more, whether, I don't want to say if it's tolerant or accepting, depending on where you go, it's one or the other.
Yeah, interesting comments there, Mike. Obviously, like, I'm in the same background as you, right? Except I was born in the Philippines. I don't know if that makes me more Filipino. Probably not, because like I don't.
Me too.
Were you born in the Philippines?
I was born on a Navy base, but yeah, in the Philippines, yeah.
Oh, awesome. Okay, all right. Okay, three of us. Jerome, were you born in the Philippines?
It doesn't really count.
Filipinos. 3 Filipinos and 1 Scot.
Yeah, but look, I wish Icy were here. So Icy, if you don't know, is a half Japanese, half Filipino YouTuber, content creator from Tokyo. And when I had a chat with her, she's like, "Well, Lito, you're Filipino, but you're not Filipino." I'm just like, "What are you talking about, Icy? I'm Filipino. What are you talking about, girl?" And I kind of
She's hilarious, man.
I took it kind of personally, but I know that's just the way she speaks. She speaks her mind and she speaks straight. And I was like, "But
Exactly.
I am Filipino, but not Filipino." Yeah, I get it. What she's saying.
I don't know if you know her, Michael. You should go to her channel, and at some point we need to put a link in the description, Lito. Man,
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
I think I saw
Yes.
one of the streams that you guys were in, and she happened to be in there, and I was like,
Yeah, she
she
dropped in
sounds
for a bit.
Filipino.
Oh, she's like,
She is hilarious.
she's half Filipino, half Japanese. I mean, and she's great. I think, I wish she could join this conversation. I know she's really busy, but she would give us a totally different spin on things and a female spin on things, and her growing up in the Philippines.
She tried to get you on her channel. Look, she tried to get you on her channel. She wants you to be on her channel.
So
It's like, I ain't doing
we've
it.
talked a few times. I know. I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in.
yeah, she'd be down.
She's hilarious.
let me go in and welcome a few more people that I haven't had the chance to yet in the chat. So we've got Philippe G in the house. Philippe G, nice to see you on the Lito Bunch.
Oh, Philippe.
Yes, you're getting the horns of welcome.
Good,
Yes. We got Willy Boy TV09, who is now on his main account. What's the main account called? Willy Boy Antonano, and I think he's also saying he's from the Philippines. Welcome, Willy Boy, and everybody. Thank you for making.
I thought it was
welcome.
Groundskeeper Willie. Groundskeeper Willie.
Is that a Simpsons character again?
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. But and Sharvheart. Sharvheart has this ability to summon YouTubers to the stream. She was kind of joking today on Tokyo Paul's stream. She was like, I think of Lito and boom, he appears. I think of Audio and boom, he's like, hey, here he is. So nice to see you. We were having a great time there, Sharvheart. Nice to see you all the time. And he's like, yeah, gotta catch them all, kind of thing. But Johnny's got a great point. Lito be Filipino until they ask you to speak Tagalog. That is correct.
Yeah,
you're correct. You're correct, Johnny.
That's perfect,
You're correct.
man.
but I went down to shuttle for the weekend. Okay. I can do a good accent, but I can't actually speak Tagalog, so.
You can just say ayan.
Ayun. But speaking.
Can I
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
Well,
go ahead.
Sorry to interrupt or anybody, but no. Just my situation, I guess, was a little bit unique in that my parents got divorced when I was 3 or something, and then I went back to India with my mom. She was trying to figure out what to do. And she decided she had the green card, so she's going to raise me in the States because I'll have more opportunities that way, right? So she came back to California, and but growing up, it was just the two of us. So then I didn't have any root in America in a sense. All my friends, they're X amount of generation American, and I'm first generation essentially because I was born outside and came over, right? So I always felt kind of a little bit out of the loop growing up. And no one made me feel bad about it, but it didn't feel right. My mom spoke very British English, and she was Indian, and she knew nothing about American pop culture or anything like that. So it was a very unique situation for me.
So interesting.
Does it work for that, Luke? Does it work for that? You're the same as me. I'm essentially called a Navy baby. That's what it's called. The Navy baby.
Okay,
That's
there you
what
go.
Oh,
Navy baby. There you go.
There was loads of Navy babies.
I have a maid now.
We are. Yes, we are one Navy baby.
Interesting, Luke. Did your mom try to teach you any Indian when you were growing up?
Well, she grew up speaking English. I mean, she went to, I think, kind of religious schools, like Christian schools and stuff. So she's not religious at all, but, she grew up with that sort of, she went to those kind of schools. So she didn't know much at all, like outside of English. Okay. But she spoke insanely British English. So I was actually very embarrassed, bringing my friends over, and she would talk about going to the loo and stuff. And they'd be like, what the hell is she talking about?
I can relate to that, man. I can relate to that.
Right. But now she sounds as American as you can. She's she's a proper American citizen. She didn't get her citizenship for like 15 or 20 years though. So it was very odd growing up because, when people talk about American traditions and things, like my mom didn't really know about them, or it was, we talk about household traditions, and like we don't really have anything. I mean, it was interesting. It was interesting. Yeah.
Interesting.
It reminds me as well when I met my family for the first time, because like I say, my dad's side, they're like African American, and me being Scottish, I hadn't met my cousins till I was like 18. And the first thing they opened the door is like they looked at me and they looked at my dad. We look exactly the same, but my dad is so dark. He's like dark as night. And they look at me and they kept looking at both my dad and me all the time. They're like, nah, gee, he looks like a Mexican. They say I look like a Mexican. That's like, what the hell is the first thing you're going to say to your cousin? And then they say, where are you from? Scotland. And then it's like, that was it. It was happiness for them. It's like, oh, we've got a crazy cousin from Scotland. Where in Scotland? Scotland, Virginia? I'm like, yeah.
Scotland, Virginia.
Because I thought they were from Glasgow, and they thought, Glasgow, is that in Virginia? And I was like, man, no, it's a different country.
Oh, Americans are so bad with geography. It's hilarious.
Dude, the things they asked me after that was,
awful. We're awful.
I get it. No, you're not. But they have subtitles.
No, they
in
are.
Japanese. You have TVs in your country. I'm like, we invented the TV, guys. I was
Oh,
like, I'm
Oh, there's
done.
Glasgow, Nova Scotia.
that's true. That's true.
Nova Scotia.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of Scottish people went there to Canada.
No, I mean, okay, sorry, just to go on the American thing. I'm
Go
sorry.
for it.
I met an Australian exchange student at my university when I was there, right? And I said, "Well, how's your experience here?" He's like, "Yeah, it's pretty fun." But I was at a party tonight, and I met, this girl, and she said, "Where are you from? I like your accent." And he said, "I'm from Australia." And she said, "Well, your English is really good." And he said, "Well, thanks. It's my native language."
Oh,
That's hilarious.
I was like, that really speaks to so many Americans. That it's just like,
That's
it's
hilarious.
really funny to me, yeah.
man.
Well, all these conversations are great. Like I knew we were gonna come from different angles, and I don't think any one experience is right. And I know you, like Jerome, you're saying like, but this isn't the way it should be. And I understand we're all adamant in our own beliefs and systems and stuff. But I will say this, like the more I travel, the more I discover more about myself. Like I had no idea Canadians had an accent until I came to Japan. I know this is so naive because like I like that's a boot, yeah. Everybody's going around in a boot. But no, like the story is here's the weird story is like I went to Yokohama in high school for a 3-week exchange program, and one of those weeks was staying with my Filipino aunts who lived in Japan. Now, one of them was working at the Filipino hostess bars. Yes, that's where she was working. And she brought me there. I was like underage, right? And she introduced me to one of their hostesses, and she was also Filipino, giving me drinks, and like I'm drinking like, I don't know, cocktails and this and that. And the owner, the owner's son, the owner of the club comes out, and he's like, and he speaks with a heavy, not Japanese accent, but like a Japanese who learned American English textbook accent. I don't know how to describe it. And we were speaking in English, but I was like, you speak English different than me, in my mind. And I'm like, oh my God, I have an accent. I realized I have an accent. This is not, everyone doesn't speak like me. Well, fast forward 10 years later, I'm back in Japan to going snowboarding in Niseko in Hokkaido. And I'm at this bar. And by the way, at this time in Niseko, a lot of Australians are starting to come there because like that's the place to go when it's summer there. It's a one-stop place where you can just, time zone difference 1 hour. We're at the bar. There's this two Australian girls sitting next to us. I'm talking to my Japanese friend who I met in Canada. Anyways, we're speaking in English. And then she goes like, oh my, oh, sorry, but I couldn't help hearing about your accent. Where are you from? And I'm just like, what the are you serious? Are you picking up on my Canadian accent? I'm like, I think European accents are sexy and exotic. And now she's like jumping on me. I'm like, no. And then her friend, pulled her later. Is like, hey, come with us, Stacy. You're not, big cock block and stuff. It didn't go into anything. But I was just like, really? Like, that was interesting.
Rage.
Yeah, I know.
Rage quit.
So I'm just like, I guess
The way you said that.
that was one. Sorry.
Oh, it was good, wasn't it? Look,
But
it was
anyways,
good.
that was the story.
But
It's like,
Lito have the same.
yeah.
But when you're in Estonia as well, when I was in Estonia, it always felt like everybody always looked at you like, oh, he's so exotic. They always think you're either from South America somewhere, like I said, Mexico or Brazil or something. And the girls come up, start talking to you, and then it's Scottish blurts out. And the first thing they say is, nah. And then they walk away. I'm like, they were expecting someone exotic, some guy from South America, but then I speak Scottish, it's like, gone.
They're like, nah.
They just leave, man.
Oh
And I'm just
my
like,
God.
damn, that was bad. That was brutal, guys.
These are great stories. Sharp Heart saying, I'm also a military brat over here. Mixed military parental and grandparents. There you go. So does it mean military brat? Does it mean you move around a lot? Like I'm not a military brat, so I don't know how that works.
Yeah, I think that's I think it's because you move around a lot. You having to go from school to school.
Right.
So
right.
it's-
So that gets you a lot of mixed experiences, I would say, for sure. But yeah, everyone's liking your story there. Nomadic
Nah.
Gaijin. Nah.
I have to admit, when he said that, I thought about it for a second too. I was like, wait, it is their native language, right? So I was like, I had my American moment
It's like-
because I was also thinking like, wait a minute. I mean, it is, right? It is, right? And then, yeah, so then I realized, okay, we're all just terrible with geography and
Right.
anything. Growing up, we learn a lot about Europe and a lot about America, but we don't learn a lot. We don't learn much about Asia, I feel, at least for me, when I was growing up, in the 80s, putting my age out there.
Yeah, it's all good.
I didn't know anything about Australia and New Zealand. I didn't even know where New Zealand was or what it was because we don't learn anything about it. Like, we learn a lot about Europe and a lot about American history, and then everything else is just kind of touched on. It's one of the reasons why I got interested in Asia and why am I even here, because I didn't know anything about it and I was curious.
Well, Australia was easy for us, because Australia was a prison essentially for people from the UK. That's where they were sent to. All the rapists and the murderers were sent to Australia as punishment to die by either the natives, the animals, or the heat. And now it's impossible to get into Australia if you got a criminal record. Nah, you can't get in. But you're all criminals, guys. You're all descendants of criminals. How can you be here?
How dare you turn on your origins? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Guys, to change the topic a little bit, I think we're gonna go deep if we go that route. We're gonna do dark side.
Very dark.
Michael, you brought up the idea of your children being biracial, bicultural, living in Canada, right? I think people really don't think how they're gonna raise them so much, maybe. But we had this topic come up when Will was, well, I was interviewing him, and being in Japan, and the idea came of like, were your children bullied, in Japan for being half or double or whatever you like to call it. But I kind of want to pass this question on to Nomadic and kind of me in a way. So like, Nomadic, is there a chance that you guys are thinking of having kids in Japan in the future? I don't know. Sorry if you don't want to go there. Then we'll...
No, I'm fine to share. I mean, we've always had this kind of like, if it happens, it happens kind of thing. But I'm almost 40, and she's my wife is like 2 years older than I am. So at this point, we're very happy with our dogs, and both our lifestyles wouldn't really match with having kids at the moment. But I mean, if it happened, we'd be happy.
Well,
it's one of those things.
My follow-up question to that would be like, so if it did happen, how would you raise them? Like from the bicultural perspective, have you thought about that?
That's really hard because I've had a lot of close friends actually leave Japan because they didn't want their kids going through the very strict school system where, as you guys were talking about earlier, the individual isn't nurtured. It's more about the group. And so they start to see that even early on in kindergarten. And so they feel like, I want my kid to have more space to run around. I want them to be outdoors. I want to have, more creativity and more individualism, for my child. And I've seen so many of my friends that had kids here go back within the first 5-6 years of the kid's life, And so I wonder about that too. If I had a kid, raising them in San Diego would be maybe better for them in a lot of ways. But at the same time, it's getting worse and worse over there. So it's hard to say,
It is hard to say. Yeah. I've talked to other people in the same boat or who have kids, and once they had them, they had to make that decision. Okay, is it Japan or is it America? I've heard some argue like it's easier for them to like be raised in Japan until maybe university, and then go over to America, because then it's going from like a communal society to a more open one, and it's easier to do that than the reverse. To go from an open society, then come to a more like kind of communal society and follow all these rules.
That makes sense.
Is what they said.
Can I just touch this, even though I don't have kids? I want kids, right?
Please
and I'm not in Japan.
Please.
But speaking from a person who is mixed and who has a mixed background, I think that, to be honest, if you're having kids, I don't think solely you should focus on one aspect than the other, because the kid becomes conflicted because it doesn't understand the other side of itself. So yeah, they're born in Japan, they're raised in Japan, one parent's Japanese and the other person's Filipino or from Canada, but they never really experienced Canada. They want to know that side of them, and it's not up to the parents. I don't think it is at the beginning up to the parents to decide if they want to kind of encourage that. But I think when a kid gets to a certain point, it's going to ask it's going to want to know more about the other side rather than this side, because they'll always think that maybe this side is better. There's something greener over there. So they start having that state of mind, or they wonder why you're not like sharing both. To be honest, that's what I felt. I felt like, why am I not getting both sides? Why am I only seeing one side? But then when I do see both sides, then it's up to me as an individual to decide what I feel fits me. I know that I couldn't live in America. I know that I don't fit in that society. I know that I don't feel comfortable living there. Not because it's a bad place. It just doesn't fit me. I'm more Europeanized. I'm more Scottish, and that's for me. But America, I can go there for visiting, but I can't live there. So it took me to discover that.
Interesting.
Well,
Thanks for sharing.
my ex was Japanese American, and she would spend every summer going to Okinawa and doing just like summer school, and her parents wanted her to experience some of Japan, but also America, and so she would speak English to her dad and Japanese to her mom, even though they both spoke both languages. And I thought that was a really great way to raise a kid, because she grew up with this very international vibe. She loved her Japanese side. I mean, she was fully Japanese, but she also appreciated her American roots, growing up there. And, she can choose what she wanted to do. I like that.
I think it's true. My friends are the same. They had kids, and one was Swiss German, and the other one was Estonian. And their kids, they were living in Norway. Their kids speak English, Swiss German, Estonian, and Norwegian. 4 languages.
Wow.
All the kids speak 4 languages. And and the youngest one is like, 5, 6 years old, just going to school, and he speaks already 4 languages. So it's good. It's beneficial.
Americans can barely speak one generally.
That's true. That's true. And it's their native language, supposedly, right?
Actually, it's interesting listening to your different sort of viewpoints on it. Partly because, growing up, my first time going to the Philippines was because my maternal grandmother, my Lola, passed away, and after that, it started to go there because I think my parents, in addition to wanting to see their siblings, I didn't really understand at the time, and I understand it better now, that they wanted me to see what the culture was about, and to be able to to appreciate it, because I have friends that they're like myself, born here, grew up here, their parents immigrated here, but they've never been back. I mean, one of them, he grew up there and he came to Canada when he was like 14, 15. You might remember him, Lito, but him and I and you, we all worked actually back at the arena back in those days. And, now he has a child with essentially bicultural. And I've asked him, it's like, would you want to take her to the Philippines? And he's like, no. It's like, it's just dirty. It's like corrupt. And I was like, you grew up there. You were born there. And it's like, don't you want her to know anything about, about being Filipino? Like his wife is ethnically Dutch, but grew up here and was born here. And, he's more keen on having her learn about that side. And I guess the only way that he's having his daughter learn about the Filipino side is through his parents. And, I find that, in my opinion, kind of unfortunate. I mean, I want my children to be able to appreciate both, but at the end of the day, one of the reasons I do want them to appreciate both is because I realize that the opportunities that I've had here are only because my parents were able to come here. I look at like my relatives that are, over there, some of them are struggling, like some of them will never be able to go abroad because, unfortunately, just sort of the prejudices of, policies of, some countries to others. But it just, I think that, if I can, sorry, my kid's actually about to go swimming soon, but like I'm hoping that that he can learn about it. He's still young though, so still got lots of time.
Thanks for sharing, Michael. I mean, to be honest, I've only been back to the Philippines once, and I was like 9, and I do appreciate going back there, but I did feel like an outsider. Again, I don't speak Tagalog, as Johnny pointed out. I'm Filipino until I speak Tagalog. So even though I was in the Philippines, I couldn't speak Tagalog. So I was just like this weird. I don't know. People looked at me and spoke Tagalog to me, and I'd be like, keep the change, and I'd run away. Like I just like buy something at the store and keep the change, run away. I always felt like a bit of an outsider, but I understand what you mean. And my parents have always been like, they've been at the point where like I want to die in the Philippines. I don't know if any of your parents are like that, but like I want to die in my homeland.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they're getting old now, and I think they're kind of accepting. Okay, I'm gonna die in Canada. Most likely. But the funny thing is, the Philippines and Japan are not that far away. It's probably not that expensive to go there. I really should go back and touch my roots and my family tree. I have tons of relatives there, but I have some relatives in Japan too. One that lives in Chiba, actually, it's funny, and one that lives in the Kanto area. So it's weird, your family spreads the seed all around the world. But yeah, I think there is benefit of learning, going back to your roots, to some degree, even in keeping in touch with
No, definitely, dude. It's self-discovery. That's what it is. So a little bit of history. That's what it is.
I like what you did there. Let me go to the chat, and then we're gonna. Man, wow, this time has flown, guys. We're almost at the 2-hour mark, if I'm not correct. If I'm not mistaken. But I want to go back to the chat and then start to wrap things up, because man, this has been such an awesome discussion here. So Sharp Heart is dropping some words of really cool wisdom here. She's like, no one knows which my blood is. I'm super yellow tint with features like natives and Mexican, and then my dad's side hid his heritage, and mom did not know her grandma was full-blood native. Wow. Great grandma married Irish, and my grandpa's side married Scottish. And she goes on to say, well, I got a new term for it. I've got a braided heritage. I like that analogy of braided heritage. And then Nomadic Gaijin comes back with like, I like to consider myself a mutt. Okay, a lot of people do say that as well.
I own it.
Nice.
I like that.
Straight to the point, man. Straight to the point, Nomadic. Straight to the point.
It's all
I'm
good.
proud of it.
I'm a mutt as
I've got
well.
no problem with it.
Me too, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it is a beautiful thing to know. Like honestly, in the end, whether we're like 100% Filipino or a braided heritage or a mutt, like I feel like back in the day, I'm probably a mix of other different races too. Like I don't even think Filipinos are fully Filipino. I know there's Chinese Filipinos, there's like Hispanic Filipinos, like the mestizas and the mestizos. My mom looks so pale. Like her skin is so white. She gets mistaken for being white all the time, right? And then wherever I go, I get mistaken for everything but Filipino. So like people think I'm Mexican. If I go to Vietnam, I'm sure people will start speaking to me like like seriously.
No one gets Indian from me
Cambodian
either.
and stuff.
Yeah, I get
No
everything.
one ever
but-
guesses Indian.
The best was when I was eating at this restaurant in Nishinomiya. It was like, I think it was like the Hawaiian Kawaii burger or something like that, right? And yeah, I was with my Japanese girlfriend at the time. It wasn't Chica, but the waiter comes over and he just stops like mid order. He's like, "Simasen, Oni-san." He's like, sorry, but are you Okinawan?" He's just like, "Okinawan no kata desu ka?" I'm like, I couldn't understand what he said. For like, Okinawa, like what are you talking about? Like, are you from Okinawa? Because you look like you're from Okinawa. And if you guys don't know, Okinawans look kind of Mexican. There's like this weird mix there, like Pacific Islander, Mexican.
If you told me you were Okinawan, I would believe it. Yeah, like 100%.
Yeah, and when I go to Okinawa, everybody treats me like a local. And it's awesome because it's like, who's this guy? Oh yeah, you've been here all the time. Like, no, no, but you're gonna buy me.
You look like an extra from Karate Kid, Lito.
Like from what?
You look like an extra from the Karate Kid. You look like an extra from Karate Kid too.
From Karate Kid too.
Karate Kid.
In the background, like. All right.
Actually, I do have a question for you, Lito.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because we're kind of like sort of opposites. It's like I kind of sort of identify myself as being quite Filipino, even though I'm born here. Mm-hmm. But I know that, like, especially with the more recent generations, of Filipinos that have been coming here, I would say within the last 15, 20 years, when they ask me, it's like, oh, are your parents Filipino? They always ask me, do you speak Tagalog?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I'll say no. I say, or I can try, but it's not very good. And they're like, oh, why don't you? And then they really, really grill me. And I swear, like it's only been, other more recent Filipinos that I've had to have those conversations with. And I've found that, especially friends that are born here, their parents immigrated from there, that they get that question too. And, I don't know if you ever got that. I don't know if you get that in Japan right now. I've had to sort of deflect, and sometimes I've had arguments about it, and it kind of sucks.
Oh, okay. So that's a great question. Thank you for asking. My experience with it has been, so my relatives who came to Canada emigrated, and they're still basically very Filipino in the sense that they came when they're a lot older. Will understand that I'm like Icy said, Filipino, but not really Filipino, and so they'll have conversations with my parents in Tagalog. They'll be like, oh no, what? And then when I come in the room, they're like, oh, Lito, we were just talking about, and then they translate it to English. So they wouldn't even like grill me about it. They would just like assume that I wouldn't understand. And I would understand maybe 25-30% of it. But it's a weird thing, guys. Like, if you ever came in the room, it would be like them speaking Filipino to me and me speaking English back to them. It's this weird parlay that we have. So, have I been grilled about it in Japan? I haven't got it at the same amount as that, even. Like, I had a good coworker. He's, like, full-on Filipino, English teacher. But he would try to speak Tagalog to me just to kind of, like, prod me a bit. But he knew I could not, like, I could understand him, but I would speak back in English. So he wouldn't get on my case about it. But after meeting Icy, honestly, like, she's brought me closer to my Filipino.
She does grill you, man.
She does grill me. She's like, you're not Filipino, you're just like I don't know, whatever it is, but there is this interesting Filipino YouTuber community that is so supportive.
Yeah.
And like I think the new person in the chat here, what was his name, Willie 50 or something, I can't remember, I'm rolling all the way back, but this new person in the chat, if they're from the Filipino YouTuber community, they are amazing. One, at just supporting each other, and two, at making me feel more welcome again, even though Icy grills me sometimes, to like want to learn my culture again. Like I want to learn what these words are in this, and I hope it's a more open environment than you had experienced. But yeah, do I get grilled about it? Not as much as you had. But then again, I think people just give up more on me because they're like, no, he's a lost cause kind of thing.
I mean, you count yourself lucky, Michael. You don't walk into a kebab shop or a Turkish kebab shop and people start talking to you Turkish, because they think you're from Turkey. Where you from Istanbul? We're like, no, I'm from Glasgow. Like, oh no, you're not.
Oh, you're one of the Turkish from Glasgow. Oh, you emigrated to Scotland. All right.
I should have said yes, so I got a free kebab, but I didn't. So.
Well, that's the weird thing. It's like when I guess I'm just using this like on my own experiences, but like regarding what Lito's been through, I understand probably I would say like 90% of Tagalog and like even probably 50-60% of my own parents' like regional dialect. So when I start hearing Filipinos, in random conversations, and sometimes hearing them talk about other people, and sometimes not in the nicest ways, it kind of pisses me off, and I sort of have to call that out, and then they get shocked and they're like, oh, but it depends when the situation is. But yeah, I mean, I want to learn more about it just so at least I can bring it to the next generation. But I am also happy to be in Canada too.
Okay, I have maybe a few closing things. I'll get to the chat in a bit too, but I wanted to just say what I miss about not living in Vancouver is, like, when I go back, I can hear 5 or 6 different languages spoken in the same day. Like, I absolutely love that. I know, and Mike, you're still living there, and you're like, it's just background noise to you, maybe, or you're used to it. But I love hearing Vietnamese, Chinese, like English. I've even heard Osaka Ben in downtown Vancouver. I'm just like, what? Like, I love that multiculturalism. I do miss it here a bit. I get a little bit because I'm in the foreign community. So like most everybody speaks English, but I'll encounter people who speak different languages. And like if I go to Namba and we go to bars and stuff, that's kind of cool. But I really do miss that.
I can relate to that, Leo.
Yeah, can you? Is it the same where
I
you're
can
same
relate.
here.
When I lived in Norway, it was the same. When I got to Norway, it was like everyone speaking Norwegian, and yeah, you understand things, but as soon as you stepped off a plane in Edinburgh and you just walked down Princess Street, and you'd have Spanish people talking Italians, you'd have Scottish, then you'd have like Chinese, you'd have so many different like languages spoken at the same time. But in Norway, it was just Norwegian, straight up Norwegian, and it was sometimes it was good at the beginning, but eventually you're just like, I just want to hear a variation, please, something different.
Right. It's kind of cool. And Luke, you were kind of like nodding your head when I was saying the 5 different languages in one day. Were you feeling that too?
Oh yeah, I mean, when I go back to San Diego, I do enjoy that. Just hearing different languages, seeing people from all over the world, and just mixed. I love that. I do miss that, and I sometimes I see it in Tokyo. In certain areas, I'll hear a couple different languages, and I think that's really cool. But in Saitama, I don't get that so much. It's just always Japanese.
Yeah, that is true. It's a bit more mono-ethnic there.
That
Sharp
brings
Heart,
back memories for me, actually.
does it? What do you mean?
Well, I spent like 3 months when I was like in my early 20s actually in the Philippines. And when I finally came back to Canada, I walked off the plane. I was like, holy, like I actually see like there's white people, black people, like not just Filipinos. And I was like,
Diversity.
what?
Diversity.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah,
Sorry.
culture shock.
The other end of the
reverse
spectrum, though,
culture
is
shock.
like, sorry,
Go ahead.
when I go back to the States, I'm bored because I can read all the signs. Everything's in English. Everything I see is English, and I just feel completely bored. Like, oh man. In Japan, I'm always looking at. Oh, I don't know what that means. I gotta look that up later. I'm trying to figure it out. It challenges my brain.
Yeah,
And I
that's true.
think if you live in
You get excited for a minute,
in a
Luke.
different country, you get to experience that a lot, right?
Exactly.
And then I
You
go
get
back
excited
home,
for a
and
minute.
it just feels so boring. It's like nope. It's like you've unlocked everything.
Right.
You can read everything.
Achievement unlocked.
Where's the challenge in life? I enjoy the daily trying to read signs, especially on live streams. Trying to explain to people, in English what I'm reading in Japanese, even if I don't understand it all. It's like, okay, this sign says it's closed for construction for this reason. It's so fun. I just miss that so much every time I go back to the States. Like, I don't get how people can live like that anymore.
It's interesting. That's a really good point, Nomadic Gaijin, and yeah, it's true. When we're in Canada, we have like the French and English thing, but it's kind of the same, right? You go back and it's like, oh, I understand it all. Right. I'm gonna
It's
go
a bit
to
like when I went in Malta. When I moved to Malta as well, when I got off a plane and stuff. I swear to you, dude, Maltese language is use every letter that just is not irrelevant. It's not relevant in English. You use every letter that's not relevant, and I'm sitting there like, what does that even say? Like Tashbesh. It's like there's so many X and Y's and stuff in Hamrun and H.
where are the vowels, right?
I'm like, take me back home, man. I don't want to deal with this.
Right. That's hilarious. I love how we're touching on the language aspect too of multiculturalism, and language and culture are very braided, if I could borrow a word from Shar of Heart, very intertwined. And Shar of Heart's like, reacting here a lot. At least you don't have Mexicans asking you why you don't speak your native language, thinking you're Mexican. Goes to say, I love mixed heritage. I do too. I love accents and I love different languages. And Anthony's saying, wow, the language of my Native American heritage is Cherokee. It's a dying language. There is a native language in the north part of Japan, the Ainu. They're kind of the native indigenous people of them, and they're a dying culture in the sense that there are not many of them left. I don't think I've ever heard anyone speak fluent Ainu, but it's funny, they came to Vancouver. There was an Ainu exhibition in Vancouver many years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I was like, wow. And you know what? The Ainu and the Native Native Canadians, I guess, Native Americans, like, I don't want to mix them all together. Their cultures look very similar in many regards. So I was like, that's an interesting connection. So thanks for bringing that up, Anthony. And Sharp Heart's just saying
There's
it
a
right.
game. There's a game about the Ainu, Lito. There's a game about the Ainu on Xbox. I think it's also on PlayStation. I forget the name of it. It's about a little. Well, she's a native, and she's got a little pet white fox that she follows, and it teaches about the history of the Ainu as well, and also some elements
That
of the
sounds
language.
cool. What is that?
That is really cool. Let us know.
I'll need to find out the name of the game, and I'll put it in the comments later
That could
on.
be a cool game.
please do.
I have it
That'd
on.
be a cool game to play.
Yeah, it's really
or
cool.
something. That sounds great.
It's really cool because it gives little aspects about like the spiritual side as well, their beliefs, and you have to summon certain spirits to help you get past certain levels and stuff. It's really cute little game.
I have a feeling there are still parts of Hokkaido that have ties to the Ainu. Like, I think some of the city names and whatnot are very different. They're not Japanese sounding as much. So, like Rutao and Nori Botoke is I forgot the name, but that's Japanese. But I think there's a lot of mixed language going on there too. So it's quite interesting.
Well, so someone in my chat the other day on a stream was saying Hokkaido just completely accepted being adopted to mainland Japan and just kind of like forfeited the heritage, but Okinawa really kept what makes them Okinawa. It's why the language, I don't know about you, but when I go to Okinawa, I don't understand what people are talking about half the time.
Yeah, they're different.
It's a very different language.
They're different,
almost,
yeah.
Yeah.
Okinawans
So I don't know if that's
awesome.
true, but just when I heard that, I thought that was very interesting. That the North was like, okay, we'll just take in the whole Japanese mainland style, and the South was like, no, we still got our own style. Like, we're here, but we're gonna keep.
I mean, it's like that in Scotland. It's like that in Scotland. If you go to the Highlands, people still speak Scots Gaelic in the Highlands. So if you go all the way up north to Thurso and stuff like that, people in villages will still speak Scots Gaelic, and I won't understand anything they say. I'll be like, and they understand. They speak in Scottish as well, but if they start speaking to you in Scots Gaelic, it's just like, can you speak in Scottish? And they'll be like, this is Scottish. And you're like, damn, I should learn Scottish.
That's your native language there, son.
Exactly. I'm schooled, man.
I love this. And Anthony's adding here, I want to learn the Cherokee language. I think it would be really cool. I think that would be really cool too, man. So yeah, we gotta like honor our heritage, and I know things are being more globalized and this and that, but dying languages are sad to me. I think a lot of tribes that go extinct and we lose their language, we're really losing a part of history,
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome guys. I have one more question for you, Jerome. So you talked a little bit about having children in the future, and I know that it's a great kind of goal of yours. The question is, so after all we've been talking about, would you want to have your child raised in a certain country? Like, do you want them to be raised in Scotland or like anywhere? Like, it doesn't matter, or what's your idea for it?
Depends on the parents. I mean, if I meet somebody from abroad, it doesn't matter where they are in the world. If I want my kid to be able to experience both sides of their cultural their cultural makeup. I'm not going to say this is going to be their only way. This is where you're going to live for your whole life. I would like them to see both sides. When they get to a certain age, when they're old enough to decide for themselves, to say, okay, world is yours, go for it. Where do you want to go? Do you want to stay here? They'll have both passports. Do you want to go to Scotland? Do you want to go to Europe? You choose. So it's up to the individual kid. You've got to give them the options, but at the same time, just kind of guide them. So for me personally, I'm not going to tie my kid down to anywhere. I mean, I will raise them the best of my ability, and then after they get a certain point, they decide which direction they want to go.
That's awesome.
I really like that. I like that style. Yeah.
I heard what Luke was saying, and then we'll get back to Michael. So Luke, sorry, go ahead and continue.
No, just slightly related, but I guess. But when I was a kid, my mom wanted to give me as many options as possible, so she took me to, I think, like 4 or 5 different types of religious churches. She's like, I'll let you experience this, and if you're interested in something, cool, but if not, she wasn't very religious. She was just like, I want to expose you to it, but I want to give you the option to pursue what you think is right or not. I was a kid, so I just wanted to play video games, so I didn't really care about it. But it was
Right.
But I'm really grateful for the fact that she gave me the opportunity. That she took me to these various places, but she didn't force it on me. And she was the same with Indian heritage, and even she would teach me about British heritage because she grew up with some of that too, right?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I like that. I like the idea of giving children as much background as they can, and letting them feel free to choose what kind of person they want to be. I like that so much, and I really relate to what JJ was saying.
That's awesome, man. Thank you for
man.
sharing that. Michael, you were saying I couldn't hear, but could you repeat that?
Oh, yeah, I can 100% agree and relate to that. I mean, especially right now, mainly because having kids of bicultural heritage, you know, I have a feeling at some point in their lives they're going to be asked those questions. And, I want to be able to give them the information, and hopefully they'll take it, in a positive way. And, so when people start asking them questions, they'll be able to be confident about who they are, where they're from, like how to deal in those situations, especially in places where it might be more homogenous and people sort of hopefully don't give them issues, but if it comes up, they'll know what to do. Because I think even though the world will get more global, I think there's still going to be some places that are still going to, maybe not be as welcoming.
Right.
I agree.
Good
I mean,
point.
I have four nieces. Oh, I had four nieces. Oh, I have five, but now I only have four. And all of them were born in one sister. All of them were born in different places. One of them was born in Scotland. One of them was born in England. The other one was born in Dubai, and one of them was born in Australia. And they're all the age now where they can all decide their own futures, where they want to go, where they want to live. Because my sister had that same feeling as I have. It's like, let them experience both sides of their culture and they decide what they want. And they're happy. They're all choosing their own path. One of them's going back to Australia. The other one lives in Ireland, and the other ones are in England. Well, two are in Ireland. One was in England. So I think it's important to let your kids choose, but just kind of guide them at the beginning, but let them figure it out on their own, what they feel is comfortable for them.
Nice one, guys. Nice one. The chat is on fire. Dej is saying this conversation is awesome, and then Luke comes back
Thank you.
with like a Keanu Reeves moment. He's like, "No, Dej, no, you are awesome."
You are awesome.
I love that. I love that.
I just like telling people how awesome they are. It's
Yeah.
kind of a
Yeah. I love it.
No, it's totally cool. It's totally cool. Anthony was saying to you, Luke, that's a cold story. Good job to your mom to doing that. She really to your last story there. So
Yeah.
No, I really appreciate, when I decided to come to Japan, both my parents were like, we 100% support you, just go do it,
oh, that's cool.
They really miss me, of course. My mom misses me a lot, but she was like, whatever makes you happy. Like, I raised you to choose where you want to be, what you want to do. I don't ever want to affect your decisions. Even when she was struggling, she wouldn't want to tell me too much because she wouldn't want me to feel guilty. Like she had COVID. She didn't tell me. I was kind of pissed about that.
Oh, really? Oh, man.
Yeah, she's fine.
I'd be pissed too, man. That's good. Good to hear.
Oh, I understand.
But the overall thing is that she really, she wanted me to choose what I do in life, and she didn't want to have any say in influencing that. And I really like that she had that parental attitude my whole life.
Nice.
It's about self-discovery. That's what life is,
very much.
Everybody has to go through it at one point, and if you teach them at a young age or at an early age, then it means that when they go anywhere in the world, they'll manage. I think they'll manage.
That's awesome, guys. Guys, I wanna bring this all together with a little bit of a game. I know we've been talking about like pretty hard topics in the last Lito bunches, and I'm so happy how everybody's handling it so maturely and a really down to earth thing, because like a lot of this could get really out of hand quickly, but you guys are seriously awesome.
I want to fight everybody in this room right now. Let's go.
Let's go! Free for
Whose
all!
side? Right now.
Brawl!
Oh, you're bringing back some like old school memories of Kyoto.
Oh, really?
Bad memories, actually.
Oh no, I don't want to go there. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna wrap it up.
wasn't. Yeah.
Okay. I know you told me the story, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I want to wrap it up with a little bit of Gartic phone. I'm gonna play 2 rounds. Okay, we can have 14 people. If you guys haven't played before, I'm gonna drop the link in the chat there. Gartic phone. If you guys can open it in a browser, or if not,
Can I use the restroom real quick? I'll
Yeah, of
mute
course.
myself here.
yeah, of course. Okay.
Alright.
So Nomadic Gaijin, go
Actually,
ahead.
yeah, I'm just gonna give my kid a
Sounds
kiss
good.
goodbye.
Go ahead.
Just a second.
So guys, what Gartic
We're all
phone?
leaving. We're all going. Like, see you later, Lito.
Yeah. See you guys.
Fine,
Hey guys. I thought we were together on this. Oh no, it's all good. If you need to go to buy a rig, it's fine. I'll explain to the people in the chat what Gartic phone is. It's like Pictionary, and drawing. Well, Pictionary is drawing. It's kind of like a form of Pictionary and storytelling. So if you guys want to play, I dropped the link in the chat. Nobody's with me. Nobody want to play with me. I know some of you guys want to play, so go ahead in the chat and join the link, please. What you got to do, you can play it on your PC or your phone, and if you click on the link, give your code name, you can go ahead and join it. So if anybody is there, anybody in the house, I'm just gonna put some air horns so I can hear myself. Hello? Okay, Anthony's like, I want to play, but I got to get ready for church. No worries, man. If you're busy, it's all good. It's all good. Anthony, thank you so much for being here, man. It's been great having you on, and we will have you on again for the Lito Bunch. Don't worry. All right, we got Sheila in the house, or Shelia, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Sharfar's like, eh. Oh, we've got like a bantha. I wonder who that is. Who is like a bantha there? Let me get off. Okay, Mike's back.
Fanta.
Like a bantha. I have a feeling that's DX. I'm not sure. If you guys want in,
I need to click on a link.
yeah, click on the link. Open the YouTube for this live, and you'll find the link there. We got Shelia. We got Taicho Mikey in the house. So guys, get your creative groove on, and let's say for the first round or for every round. So how this works is you're gonna type in like a phrase. For example, Ronald McDonald smoking a cigar. I don't know, that's a bad one. Or like Pikachu making pancakes. Just something funny. But how about this? Let's make it something related to your country, related to you culturally. So for me, it might be like I don't know, Pikachu eating maple syrup or something like that. I don't know, something related to your cultural background. Does that make sense? All right, we got NGIG. All right, and like a bantha. Oh, we have 2 like a bantha. So we have like a bantha, and we have like a bantha. All right.
Same minds, man. Similar minds. Dirty minds.
Dirty minds. Oh my gosh. So we're gonna play the normal version of this for the first round. Nomadic Gaijin, have you ever played this before?
I played it with you on stream once.
Oh yeah.
I
Were you on camera for that one?
Pretty shit.
I
Is
think I was
Ravisha?
just playing. I wasn't on camera, I don't think.
Right.
Where's
Okay.
Ravisha and Johnny?
Yeah, where's Ravish and Johnny? Johnny is
They're the legends of this game, man.
like a bantha. Okay. Is Ravisha still here? Let me see if he's in the chat.
Ravisha is legend, man. He
Ravisha.
draws like Picasso pictures and shit like that.
Oh, I
He's,
know.
He's like Mozart. I mean, no Mozart. He's like Van Gogh. He's painting
Okay, we
perfectly.
got Celestia. Celestia's 37. Nice.
Ooh.
This is kind of like a mini game to guess like who is who sometimes.
Well, I mean, mine's pretty obvious.
Yeah, yours is on the nose.
He's like, damn it.
Okay, we got
He's like,
7.
why didn't I think of a stupid name?
7 out of 14. If everyone's not playing, that's totally cool. We're gonna close this up in 30 seconds. 30 seconds. All right.
Last chance. The last call.
That's right. That's right.
Make your entries now.
Luke, how secretive are you going to be about your recent meeting with this big creative group there? Can we let people know?
I can talk about it. I don't really care. Yeah.
Yeah, can you fill us in? Because I don't know if JJ knows. Only people in the like that Instagram.
Oh, I saw it. I
Did you
saw
see it?
his Instagram post. He was.
Okay.
I was
Yeah.
trying. Yeah, it's good that he's got connections, man. I'm happy.
Okay. So one of my really good friends for a long time. We've been friends for like 11 years. He is like the technical director for Tokyo Creative, which is quite wild. You know, like he's been with Chris Broad on a bunch of his videos and trips and stuff, and he's been wanting me to meet the team for a while. So they had this event yesterday, and he said, "Can you come?" And I said, "Yeah, sure, yeah, I'll be there." And so I went there, and he introduced me to, you know, Charla and Aki and Tokidoki Traveler, and you know, I got to talk with these people. It was kind of daunting actually, because you know, these are very big YouTubers. But it was great. It was a nice experience. He'd actually shown them my videos before, which actually made me feel super embarrassed, because you know, you got these professional people.
Your videos are great, dude.
Yeah, your videos are killing it.
No, but I mean,
videos are great,
they're
man.
like top tier. So he's excitedly showing them. He's like, "This is my friend. We've been friends for a long time." He's showing them, you know, bits of my videos.
Yeah, but you got to remember, you
And
did this. You did this all on your own. Look, you did this all on your own. They have teams of people helping them do
Yeah,
this stuff.
that is
so
true.
when
They
he
do,
says
they
he
do,
admires the
yeah.
fact that you do this stuff, it's because you do it on your own. The music, the editing, the filming on location, all of it. So kudos, bud. Kudos. You
I
deserve this.
really appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, that's. I mean, another. I won't name drop, but another fairly big YouTuber was watching a stream where I was showing my YouTube videos because I was sick and I couldn't go out. And her comment was basically like, "How did you get all these different shots? Like, you driving? I was doing driving. I had drone shot, I had inside shot, I had just outside the car shot." And I said, "Well, I just had to do it like 4 or 5 times to get those shots because I don't have a team." And she was kind of impressed, and I was very moved by that. She said, "That's very professional," and I was like, "Well, no one's ever said that to me, but yeah, I mean, it's tough, it's hard. All of us know that do YouTube. It's very difficult."
Hey, there's Michael's
Baba.
son.
Bicultural child,
Nice.
the younger one.
He's like,
Making a what do you call it? A cameo. Nice.
yeah, guest appearance.
Nice. Daniel and Yuka just dropped in the chat. Hey, Daniel and Yuka, do you want to join us on this game? We'll let you in if you want to join, Daniel and Yuka. Let us know.
Thank you, Johnny.
All right, Daniel and Yuka in the house. We're gonna start in 3, 2, 1. Okay, guys. The first title you got to make, you got to write something, but about your heritage, about your country, about where you come from. Okay, so make it a sentence, something to do with that. Here we go. Okay, so go ahead, type in your sentence. When you're done, hit enter. And what your next job is, you're gonna get a screen with someone's phrase on top. Okay, you can hear the phone there. Hopefully it's not too loud for you guys. And then you gotta draw that phrase. Okay. Welcome, Daniel and Yuka. Just got in there. And don't say the phrase. Anyone on camera, don't say the phrase. Okay. So go ahead, and you have a timer about 60 seconds, I think it is. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Wait, what?
I don't know how this is related to your country, but I will draw it anyways. This is where I put some what you call it, music on. Let me take care of that after the first round. Maybe I'll put some like lo-fi just on my phone here.
I like this game.
Can you guys hear that?
So
Is it
only drawing or no letters?
if possible,
It
no
sounds
letters.
like
Okay.
yeah. It sounds like I'm in an elevator, so I do hear that.
It sounds like you're in an elevator. How about that? Is that better?
Yeah. Yeah.
11.
Sir.
Floor 11, please. Floor 11. 11.
Going up.
Can you please repeat that? That's what we'll say.
All right.
Wait, did I not submit this?
Oh.
my drawing's so bad. I'm
I'm not sure if
that,
I'm
that
finished.
telephone ring is like you got 10 seconds left or something.
Is there a submit button? Am I just
Yeah, there's a
missing that?
done. A done.
I thought I hit it already. Oh, I did. Okay, I can't edit it anymore. Okay, gotcha.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Now you have to type what that means. Hold on. Elevator is on pause.
Wait, it didn't accept my photo. That's so weird.
Really? Weird. Okay.
Yeah, I thought I hit everything, but it just now it's a circle with a line through it.
Well, I have to
Next round, I guess.
yeah, I guess. All right. Get your lines in. Oh man, okay. Oh man.
I don't get the meaning of this.
Wow.
Dan and Yuka, if you got kicked, try to click on the link again if you can. Sometimes it's just bad connection. Yeah, you'll probably be able to get in after that, hopefully. Yeah, just try rejoining the link if you can. You're 3 rounds in. Oh, I know some people do get kicked. Just keep trying to rejoin if you can.
Yeah, okay, it's weird. I hit the done button again, but
We all look so focused. Yeah, we are focused.
It's hard doing this with a mouse.
I know it is.
Be nice to have like actually.
And not like a pen. Yeah.
I should actually try that.
I have no idea what this looks like.
Oh god, this is really bad.
I'm just gonna put it in.
Oh. Yuck.
And of course, Luke. So much kudos for your meetup with Tokyo Creative, Daniel Lucas says. Yeah, that's pretty awesome, isn't it?
it was a pretty incredible experience, you know. Yeah, I was supposed to meet a few other people too, but you know, just it is what it is.
Were there any other
But-
people in your position there, like who were there to join and they're not part of Tokyo Creative?
I mean, there were a few people, yeah, that seemed to know. Everyone seemed to know somebody in Tokyo Creative who was there. So for me, my in was Ian, right? Like he invited me to this, and
That's-
he's basically promoted my channel to his whole team, which is super awesome. I really appreciate that.
Cool. That's
You know, I was gonna
awesome, man.
say, as a what did I say a while ago, content consumer,
Mhm.
I really appreciate all the stuff that you guys have been doing. And, you know, like it's been slow for me to sort of subscribe to a lot of the channels since, you know, there's so much content out there. It's like, you know, I don't know how many, like, uh, there's got to be thousands. And it's interesting because some of the content now, you know, I go back and see what I've subscribed to, and you know, one of them was, you know, I didn't realize it was like a big YouTuber back in the day. It was like this girl who went to Korea, and I didn't realize that she hadn't posted in like several years, and she only posted like 1 year ago just because it was about the coronavirus. But you know, just to see that there's a lot more engaging content now, for me at least, you know, I almost feel like I don't even have to watch TV anymore.
Right.
Yeah. I find myself more and more, if you're in the world of Twitch, I end up watching a lot of, I have a lot of friends that do Twitch in Japan. I end up watching them a lot because, you know, it's more interactive than TV. You know, you get to see stuff going on, but, you know, you chat with them and you just say like, hey, what's that thing you just saw? And I was talking with my friend. I was like, hey, one of the gachapons, you know, I was like, hey, what was that? And they went back and they bought one. And so that kind of stuff is very unique. I think why live streaming is becoming a more interesting medium for more and more people.
Right. Sorry, it's hard to talk and draw at the same time.
How dare you?
Sorry.
That is
I have to agree with that. I'm like so addicted to YouTube as far as like content creation and content consumption. Like it's for me it's like YouTube and Netflix basically. But it is tough though. There's so much good stuff out there, you know.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So it's a hard it's hard to get traction sometimes. You know, we're all kind of still just for some of us have done it a little bit longer, but I think in the broad spectrum of things, a lot of us are just still starting, you know, kind of thing. Okay, describe the scene.
Yeah.
Oops.
Daniel and Yuka, were you able to rejoin?
Oh, I see. I think the one that was no good wasn't mine. That was someone else's. I see. That was like the description, right?
Right. Buddha of Destiny, namaste. Thank you for putting us on in the background. I believe it. Oh, I know who wrote this one. I know who wrote this one. Hold on.
Oh shoot.
Watch out for that fill button.
You can't undo in this, right?
You can. There's like that left arrow.
You can.
Specifically left arrow.
Oh, there it is. Oh, yeah. I felt like this was easier to do on the phone, actually.
Yeah, probably.
I'm doing it on the computer right now.
Like it's so much harder on the mouse, right?
Yeah. Especially, I'm trying to use my trackpad because it's less noisy.
Oh, nice one. Shoot. That phone ringing. That phone ringing. Looking forward to Luke's 48-hour mega Twitch stream. Are you serious?
I never said 48 hours.
Dude, that would be like playing
was saying,
Mahjong or
I wanna do,
something.
I said I do want to
Mahjong,
get
yeah.
there eventually. I want to try. The longest I've done is 16 hours, so it was a long stream.
Wow. Okay, guys, are you ready? We're going to display mode manual, I guess. Show how the drawings says we show the players. I'm gonna go on manual. I don't know what this is. Okay, so I'm gonna have to. Do you guys see on all your phones there? Actually, I'll have to share my screen, won't I? 1 second here, so that the people who aren't playing can see, just in case. 1 second, guys. How does this screen share work?
Shoot.
1 second. Where are we?
Is there a current
gonna
wave
check
right
the
now, like
illegal.
coronavirus wave in Japan?
It's a good question. Luke?
Yeah.
Oh,
We've hit record high numbers. Like, I mean, we never had this many. It's still small compared to a lot of other countries, but it's been
Yeah.
hitting pretty hard numbers. But all the Omicron, which doesn't seem to be hitting that hard for people. Most people are just writing it out at home. I think I might have had it actually, but it was just like I just had a cold for a week, and everyone was like, "Yeah, your symptoms sound like Omicron," but it wasn't that bad. So I don't know.
All right, can you guys
Will
see?
had it.
I think everybody. Will had it. It's true. I think I almost had it at one point. Okay, a polar bear making pancakes with maple syrup. That's pretty good. That's from Sheila. Sheila, thank you. Like a banta says mouse doing scientific experiment. Yes.
Smoking crack. is like,
Taicho
yeah.
Mikey. Yes, I can see that kind of. And the other banta. Cylon test battle star. Nice. And Luke's yes. That is it.
I'm sorry, I can't draw worth crap.
Oh, that's
sorry.
great. That's great.
I can't either.
I don't even know what that is.
Celestia is like Halloween, and Daniel Yuka must have dropped at that point.
That's why I got the empty. So I think that was mine.
I see.
Describe it.
Okay, Sheila is saying eating fried chicken. A lot of fried chicken in this round here. Like a banta. Oh, I like it. I like it. Taicho Mikey. Church's chicken. Do you guys have Church's chicken in North America? In America?
Yeah,
I think it's in like
there's one in
Texas
San
or something
Diego.
like that in a couple states.
Okay. Yeah, I like it more than Kentucky Fried Chicken. It's just more, I don't know, wholesome tasting. NGIG
What
is
about
giving us the big empty. It's all good.
Oh, it
Celestia's-
just killed it for me. Yeah, sorry.
nice. We got the
Yeah,
chicken
yeah.
and the leg. And Danielka empty. Okay. And
Do
then
they have Jollibees in Japan?
I don't think so. Jollibees is a Filipino chain, right? Not
Yeah.
that I know
That's
of.
That's a messed up car, Lito.
Oh, hey man, this is futuristic. That's a Tesla, dude. That's a Tesla. Look, it doesn't even need
Flintstones
mirrors.
car, man.
Doesn't even
Cybertruck.
Cybertruck.
Looks like
Look at that
it's like a
truck.
race ball in Japan. Looks like a Japanese race ball.
It's a rice ball.
In the garage.
It's a rice ball Tesla. Like a bantas, Indian elephant.
Indian elephant eating
Indian noodles. Nice one. Nice one. How do you do turmeric? Of course. Of course.
I knew I said turmeric. I didn't even
Wait,
know
I
what.
thought that was like an antelope.
Like a
or-
banta. It's like a banta. And yeah, oh my god. Oh my god. Contemplating. Yeah, that is true. Now you got empty. Oh, that's too bad. That's too bad. Like a bantha. Dude, where's my ears?
Where's my ears? Oh yeah, I didn't draw ears. Oops.
Oh!
so much better than what I do.
That's great. That's
Oh
great.
man.
Oh, that's awesome. That almost looks like the guy from like Saw. You know, almost. That's very interesting.
Yeah. No ears.
Okay, Taicho Mike, he's giving us
All right, let's
Irish
go.
champ burger and peach mango pie. Okay, like a banta. Giving us the big no.
How do you draw that? I mean, that's what I got. So I was like, what am I supposed to say?
Right. There's like a nobody nope.
Nobody knows.
Nobody nope. And Celeste is like, I guess not. I guess not.
Empty actually works for that.
And Daniel Lucas is also like, yeah,
again.
nobody nope. You got us. And I'm like, no. To say no.
Nobody nope. Nobody knows.
Not indie. Not indie. Not indie. And Nani.
We call the Bills
No.
What does that say? We rile the Bills.
the
Call
note.
them Bills, no.
Oh, we call the Bills note. Okay.
I like that. I like that.
That was a
That's
good
funny.
one. The nobody nope like blanks just came right at the right time. Like a bantha is quoting from Jerome's story today. Nah. Oh, that is a
There we go.
great nah.
Oh, that's cool.
That's a great nah.
There you
Making a
You get it.
declaration. Interesting.
go. Oh, you thought I was flipping someone off? Oh shoot, I should have done that differently.
Okay, Daniel, you could come on empty, unfortunately.
It does look like that, doesn't it?
Every day I'm
Supposed to be a
shuffling
no.
my hand.
With my
Shuffling.
hands.
Wow, that's a good drawing.
That's a good drawing,
That's a really
Sheila.
good drawing.
Sheila, you're
Damn.
impressing me. Mom, leave the room. I'm playing
You were
Minecraft.
playing Minecraft.
Taicho Mikey. That's exactly what happens at your home there, I guess, with your young.
Is that what they call it nowadays? I'm playing Minecraft.
Oh yeah.
That's what they call it nowadays. Come on. NTIG
Almost
is like curry and haggis delivery driver. Oh my god, I got this one too.
You said cultural about our heritage.
It is true. It's not your culture though. What is that?
Yeah, it is.
What is that?
I don't know what
That
that
is
is.
so abstract. I
Oh,
like
like
it.
an
Is
Egyptian?
that supposed to be haggis?
I don't
I'm
know.
a Scottish Indian. I couldn't help it. There you go. Oh, there you go.
Is that's
Oh,
the
wow.
best haggis I can do there, Jerome? Sorry, I don't know what haggis quite looks like. Run into the spaghetti truck. Oh, sweet! Look at that. That's it. That's like a bounty.
Holy crap.
Runaway
Dude's
train.
like throwing a truck.
Runaway train, never going back. Whoa! I like
The
it.
train's got legs.
I
The
like
train's got
it.
legs.
I like
Yo.
how. I like what you
Check
did
mark.
there. I like what you did there. Celestia S37's album. To be or not to be? Wow. How do you draw that? And you draw. Whoa.
Whoa.
That's
I'm
what I
confused.
got, Daniel Nuka. I was perplexed. Schrodinger's cat particles in two places. What?
Wow. That's a good description.
Oh, nice one, Sheila.
And also a good drawing.
Nice one. Holy.
Damn.
Cats and
Kawaii
Timber,
neck
cats
going
like-
grumpy. Love it. Oh, nice one, Taicho Mikey.
This is a good round. I like this one.
Yeah. Krabby
Krabby
Patty.
Patty.
Krabby.
Krabby Patty.
Nice. Oh, snap!
I'm
I
a
like-
terrible drawer, guys.
You took it literally like a crab in a patty, right? Oh,
Yeah, I
man.
know it's from SpongeBob, but that's all I got.
Oh, okay. Then you could green penis on Uranus. Oh, that's like a play on
What the
words,
hell?
isn't it?
Oh wow.
MC
It's like baby
Lito.
got caught playing on a piano.
What?
So
That is on Uranus. On a stage of sorts, yeah. Very
okay,
stinky stage.
okay, we're keeping it clean. We're keeping it clean now.
I don't think you were, buddy. I don't think you were at all.
After mine, we're keeping it clean. Piano man. Nice. Okay. On Uranus, come on, right?
I was like, what's the red for? I didn't get it. I was like, what the hell?
The carpet, man. The carpet.
Why is there red everywhere? It's carpet? Oh, okay. Sorry.
Okay.
It would look a lot redder on my screen. I'll just
Oh
say.
God, guys, you crack me up. Okay, guys, I'm crying now. You got me. Okay, we're gonna do it
That
one
was
more
good.
time.
That was really good.
Yeah, this is gonna be last
yeah.
round 2. Okay, Daniel Yuka, you're in like Flynn. Okay, I'm gonna change this back to the share screen here, the party screen. All right, write your sentence. Can be okay. Your your background or anyone else's background, I guess. All right. You know when you laugh so hard that your head starts to tingle? It's like that, no? No?
Yeah, that sounds like something you should get checked out, buddy. I don't. That's normal.
Probably. Yeah. Shouldn't
You laugh
finish...
so hard that the room shakes. Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah. Maybe I shouldn't end the stream with this game so often. It's hilarious. You guys make me crack up. It's so funny. Oh, snap. What?
Oh.
Oh, what? How do I draw this?
This is hard.
This is hard, isn't it?
Is this like a Star Wars remix going on in the background too?
Yeah, it's a lo-fi Star Wars mix.
That's cool. I like that.
Yeah, I see the lo-fi channels starting to branch out in different themes. Like you have Harry Potter lo-fi and this and that, and like the Pomodoro. Do you guys know what a Pomodoro is? It's like a 25-minute chunk of time where you focus and you take a 5-minute break. So it's like a 30-minute cycle. They'll have like 2 times 25 Pomodoros or something like that. Like a bantha lo-fi or something. All right, I'm done.
Oh my god.
I don't know how I can make this better.
Yeah.
Cool.
I was so so happy with some of your guys' drawings though. Sheila, you really impressed me there. Wow. Thanks. Yeah, Daniel and Yuka, thanks for the green pianist on your anus.
Got in there. Got it.
Oh my
No
God.
one's gonna get this one.
Lo-fi, look at JJ.
Yeah,
He's so
JJ looks
focused.
pretty damn focused.
JJ's in the zone.
I can't even get his own.
Looks like he's-
I'm terrified.
It looks like he's cooking like a 3-course meal here.
That was horrible. That was a horrible one to draw. In
Oh,
that
yeah,
field.
yeah,
That's
same.
dramatically.
I feel you.
Oh my snap is what I was about to say. Oh my snap. Oh man.
I'm losing it here. I'm losing it.
O'Shea's like, sorry, I ran out of time and didn't get a sentence written. That's okay. If you don't get a sentence written, they will they'll write something for you. What?
It's whole Star Wars. It's cool. I like that.
Nice.
Didn't know they did a Star Wars lo-fi. Check it out.
Yeah, check it out, man. It's pretty cool. I'm telling you, man, the fill tool for this game, it's like your best friend and your worst enemy at the same time. It can make you or break you.
Thanks for reminding me that we have that.
Yeah. Oh, Con in the house. Con, horns up, Con. Con, you are early for the next Lito bunch. How you doing, man? How you doing? Con, we're just playing a bit of Gartic Phone, your favorite game that you always.
You always tell your answers.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, no worries. No worries. Con, I did it once too, so it's all good. Yeah, we're just kind of wrapping up here. We had an awesome discussion about the complexities of modern culturalism. I guess you could say that in a funky way. Yeah, horns up, Con. Horns up. Horns up to you. Horns up, my brother. Ushiga. Con's like, I just woke up. We're having a thunderstorm. I'm terribly phobic to thunderstorms. Well, man, we're keeping you company. So don't worry. We'll help you get back to bed. Oh my gosh, what is this?
God, this is bad. I shouldn't be allowed to play this game. Like, take me out next time.
Me neither.
If you shouldn't be allowed to play, I shouldn't be allowed to draw in this game. That was a bit.
Oh, I mean, that's a given for me.
Oh, nice.
What the? What is this madness? Oh man. Using a trackpad. Where's my mouse? Ah.
Are you using the trackpad, huh?
I hate trackpads, man. I prefer using them.
Yeah, I'm using a trackpad as well.
It's a pain in the ass.
The trackpad just with your finger. That must be hard.
Yeah. It's quiet. If I
It's
use
easier
my
on the
mouse,
phone.
it's very noisy, so...
I've tried to play
Yeah, phone's the best.
like Diablo with a trackpad. Oh my god.
Oh, mate. The only thing I like about this is you can use the shortcuts that you would use normally.
Oh, man.
Ah, come on.
This is bad. Real bad.
Yeah, that's whoever wrote this one, it's bad.
Oh snap. Damn autofill.
I'm just watching you guys' expressions. It's pretty funny.
I'm just like, damn.
No. Oh no, autofill, don't fail me now,
Oh, shoot. I can do autofill. Oh, I should do that.
Oh, that's better.
Alright.
Oh, no.
No. Okay, that's fine. It's all good.
No, forget it. No autofill.
Nice. Yeah, Con, it's good to see you here. We'll keep you company while the storm abates. Yeah, it was supposed to be raining a bit around this time in Nara as well. We hung our clothes out on the line, and hopefully they'll be dry by the morning. Con saying, I appreciated thunderstorms are my kryptonite. I had a life-scarring experience as a young boy, and now thunderstorms paralyze me. Well, we are... I'm not too scared of thunderstorms, but the lightning, if it gets too close, that's freaky. My dog was definitely scared of them. He just would hide under the bed and just run around in circles. It was crazy. So
I'm just scared of aliens from the movie Aliens.
Are you really?
Yeah, I am, man. Yeah.
My parents made me watch like Jaws and The Abyss when I was young, so I had like nightmares of like underwater sea creatures and stuff.
It's good to know your deepest fears. I'll keep that in mind.
Oh, you keep in mind for the next round.
That's okay. I'm
All right.
scared.
All right, we're gonna share the screen here. Turn down.
MC Lito's album.
That's right. Oh, no, not that one. Here's the.
I heard that too. Yeah.
Okay, there we are.
No.
Okay, MC Lito's album is showing Jollibee's in Japan. Jollibee's is the chicken chain restaurant from the Philippines.
Jelly beans.
Oh, that's what you got, Jollibee's. Garden Greens.
Garden Greens.
Yeah.
Because Mikey probably would have gotten that Jollibee's, right? Oh, nice, beautiful. That's cool. I love the just two colors there. Like a banta. Damn, how'd you draw this also? Beans, green, tomato, potato. Nice. Oh, nice.
Wow,
Oh.
nice colors.
I like the character in the top left there.
Apologize.
He's like, tomato doesn't know potato well. That's right.
There's a question mark there.
Daniel Yuka is like, Dare? Dare? Who are you? Dare means who are you in Japanese. Nice one, guys. Shilia's album is saying, walking for... Oh, it's not even a complete sentence. Oh! I love that. I love that because it's like walking for. Oh, it's a walking for. It's actual for. Oh,
it's a walking for.
Nice music.
Music.
Like a banta.
What the hell am I supposed to be music steps?
Oh, it turns. Oh, it
Dore.
Interesting.
Sorry, I use words.
Stairway to
Stairway to
Heaven. Nice one. Like a banta. Whoa.
Well, that's cool.
I love what you did there. Who's the green guy on the right, though? That's interesting. The Alien Experience.
Alien Experience.
Yes. MC Lito.
That's beautiful. But they're expecting the wrong
KHB
place.
face. Look at his face, man. He's devastated.
From Stairway to Heaven to the Alien Experience. Maybe that's what going to heaven feels like. The default dance. Come on, like a bantha. So abstract. I have like no idea how to draw that. Discount Spider-Man. Nice one.
Sorry, I don't know what that was.
I love it. Oh, the dollar sign, the minus. That's hilarious. Stop him, Spider-Man! Stop! Like Tai Chi is like.
Yeah, this was hard. I didn't get enough time.
Were you going for the stop sign? Is that what you're going for?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Salvador! What? Nice! Awesome.
Salvador Dali.
Salvador Dali. Nice one. I love
That's pretty good. I
love this.
Sheila is
Oh,
amazing at
it's
this.
Great. It's great.
Sheila's on point, man. You're on
Okay.
point, Sheila.
Taicho Mikey is giving us
Seriously.
chicken adobo.
Chicken.
This is a very
Oh
Filipino
man,
dish.
I
It's-
love. My
Love-
mom used to make this because we did live in the Philippines for a little bit, so she used to make this when I was a kid.
It's kind of like
Love it.
the closest thing to Japanese is like nikujaga. It's kind of potato stew. Nikujaga with chicken. Chicken adobo, nice, and the chicken's cooking it. I love it. Chicken soup,
Chicken.
nice. I see what you did there. KFC in the soup. That makes sense.
So Damn it!
I don't know what the hell that was.
I just saw a flash of lightning outside my window, by the way. So it's like,
Damn it! It's
Look
you.
like
Luke.
Sanders'
You can't be
bedpan.
that one.
Sanders bedpan. Snap. Snap.
That's why I was focused.
Oh. Oh. No more soup for you.
Soup Nazi. Yes.
Soup Nazi. Yeah.
No soup for you.
Okay, I heard the thunder now. Okay, we're getting it now as well, Con. So you're not the only one. Oh,
Santa's bedtime.
no more soup. That kind of looks like like ramen in a way. Nice. All right, like a banta. Flip flops and shorts. All right, flip flops and shorts.
Oh, my San Diego style right there.
Oh snap!
What?
The booty.
What is the shorts turn into jeans or something? What's going on there?
That or like those sumo. What do you call it?
No, the funoshi.
Jandel man.
Funoshi,
Yeah.
Fundoshi.
Jandal Mankini. I did not know how to take this, so there you go.
That's pretty cool.
Wow, that's awesome.
Speedo or banana.
Speedo or
I'm not sure if you should show mine.
Oh no. Oh no, yours is perfect.
I didn't know what to write.
It's the fig leaf shot, right? It's the fig leaf shot. Rotten spot on my
spot on my
banana.
Run spot on my banana.
Title monkey. Pew pew pew. Oh snap. Pew 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 has a different meaning now. Okay, here we go. Guys, try to keep it clean. Come on. Happy funty.
It was fun time. What the hell happened?
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
Yes. Okay. It's the emoji club. It's a
Emoji
totally Drew
club.
reference. He calls it the emoji club when you sign up for his monthly things. Oh, I like it. Another flash of lightning around here. What's this emoji? Is this the poo-poo emoji? What is that? This is cool.
Eggplant. I won't go into details there, but
No eggplant banana gyaru. Ah, that's right. Did we see some of those on the stream today? No eggplant banana gyaru. Nice. No to eggplant and yes to nana banana. Interesting. Nice.
Wow.
it's a nice drawing, actually.
Yeah, that's really cool. Very nice. It's all hand drawn. I like it. Looney round the bend. I know some people like that.
I didn't know. Football bend it round a wall.
Oh, okay. Looney meaning like crazy person, right? Crazy person maybe? Right,
Yeah.
But it's usually
Bend.
two O's, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Like Looney Tunes.
Goal at the soccer game. Is this soccer or cricket? Oh, yeah, it's soccer, right?
Yeah, it was soccer, but I just didn't have a chance to draw a foot. I wanted to do a whole boot. I was just like, I don't know what to do.
Oh, okay.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, the marble game from Squid Game plus soccer.
Oh,
And Daniel Yuka. Oh, nice one! Nice one, Daniel Yuka. I like it. That's great. Dr. Octopus getting ready for kickoff. Kickoff. NJ. Oh, awesome. That's awesome. That's like Dr. Ock in a Lego movie, though. That's cool. That's awesome. Okay,
Discount Doc Ock.
Daniel, you go priest
Priest
calling
calling
Jesus
Jesus.
on Twitch. Oh, you're the perfect one to draw this. Whoa, dude, is that a live stream idea or what? That's great. Saw myself without makeup and my soul left my body. Holy crap, Tosho Mikey. Oh, nice one. I see what you did there. Sheila's like sending love out to the world. I love how you put the positive spin on it. Okay. There we go.
Nah, that's actually a really nice drawing there.
Thanks.
Way to go.
Love in the world. Nice.
oh wow.
Love in the world. Nice. Great.
All I see are butts. Is that me?
I don't know, but guys, that was
That was fun, guys.
hilarious. Okay.
That was fun.
Yeah. Guys, I'm going to wrap it up there. I want to thank all the people in the chat, as well as my awesome guests tonight. We got Mikey, aka Taicho Mikey, coming all the way, chiming in from Vancouver. Thank you very much, Mikey, for being here. Dude, this is your virginal, like, YouTube live stream experience.
Like, we call it popping the cherry.
We popped his
cherry.
That's right. It's the wrong word. The wrong word. Okay, sorry guys.
It's okay, we can see it.
The pictures and stuff got me in the mood. Also, okay. My man next to me on that side. That guy over there. It's so hard to do. That guy over there. We got
the guy with the white hat.
The guy with the white hat. Nomadic Gaijin. Luke, all the way from Saitama, or today from Yokohama, right? Yokohama.
AKA right. John Cena, you can't see me.
Yeah, guys, give it up. Give it up for all the guys.
Five knuckle shuffle.
Thank you for having me, Lito. I appreciate it, man.
Oh man, it's always great to have you on. Anytime, man. We'd love to have you on again. I'm just like trying to sneak on the chat here. And then finally, my boy, all the way from the UK, Scotland, is JJ, just Jeroaming around. And hopefully he's going to be Jeroaming around these parts maybe sometime later this year if things go well.
Yes, open the borders, Japan. Let me in. I disappeared for a minute.
That's right.
Oh.
Guys, we had such a fun time at the end and such an amazing conversation at the beginning and the middle. So guys, thank you for making this so special. Johnny is calling us the walking four though. Anthony, thank you so much. Good job, Lito. I couldn't have done it without all of you guys here. And Daniel and Yuka, nice meeting you, Mikey. Excellent.
Thank you.
O'Sheila is like, thank you. Very fun. O'Sheila, it was great having you here. Daniel Yuka's giving the cherry pop, the cherry bomb there. Des, thank you guys. Quick question for you there, JJ. Is Scotland still part of the UK? That's a good question.
Of course it is. We're still chained to England right now, so.
Right.
You know, wait. Fun fact, you know, on our passport picture, you know the passport, the actual coat of arms, you know that Scotland is classed as a unicorn and England classed as a lion. So do you know that they actually have us with a chain attached to the shield? Actually, we have a chain attached to it on the actual symbol.
Are you serious?
Like, we're not actually. Deadly serious. Check it out. Check it on Google. Google it.
So you are
passport. You see it.
Really chained to them. Wow.
We are chained to them. We're sadly chained.
Wow. Ball and chain. Daniel and Yuka, glad I woke up. Glad you woke up. And Con Coleman, glad you woke up too and joined us here. I hope you're going to be able to get to sleep soon. I'm wondering if the thunder is hitting all you guys. You're not seeing any thunder and lightning, are you there, Luke, in your neck of the woods? Probably not.
I have no idea.
Just think about Thundercats.
In this hotel looks at another building. So I can't see anything.
Okay, yeah. Makes sense. Guys, we're gonna
Thundercats. Oh.
That's right. Okay, guys, as we do, Johnny loves our little outro. Daniel's saying no thunder in Tokyo. I'm gonna be pulling up some of the contents as we dance it out, guys, on this Lito Bunch episode number 4, I believe. Guys, thank you so much. We'll see you on the next one. Yeah.
Talk to you later, guys.
All right.
Thank you.
Anyone wants to dance it out with me? I will put you on the screen.
I want to dance. Let's dance.
I'll put you on. Let's do it.
Yeah.
You want this crazy?
I'm going to play Elden Rings, guys. Elden Rings.
Nice. Okay, we got Nomadic Gaijin in the house.
Chop.
Roaming on there. There he goes.
Let's go.
Let's get Mikey in on there if he's still here.
I'm still here.
All right. Oh, he's dancing.
He's gonna be his kid like that. Sounds like he's gonna be.
That's right.
Put your hands in stuff. His kid say the same like this.
I'm thinking about horns.
Oh, spirit fingers.
Let's dance it out.
Oh, let's go. Whoa, whoa, whoa. There you go, you be dancing.